kicked off. And so the question befalls on what have you achieved last time? Or what have you been doing since last time? What have you been doing in general?
Yep. Just need to pull up the map real quick because it actually has all the relevant names of locations and such, which I
I
have
should
right
probably have that
here.
open as well. Unlike last
Yes,
time.
I can give you a
We still need
link.
to fix
So,
Telbakir. Ugh.
yes,
And
we
the Wanti.
departed
Oof.
last time. Last time, the second act, I have departed from Telbakir to Freyport. Got attacked by the pirate ship and blew it to smithereens. Arriving on Freyport, we've met with uh, a cult's informant, I suppose, or a recruiter, and got an artifact stone from him to deliver back to Telbakir. And last thing I remember is that we have departed and either arrived or were still in transit back to Telbakir. We also
You
got a gun.
you went on to tell Alim because you wanted to check up on some things first.
Yes, we also checked the library. There we go.
Indeed, you did.
Yep,
And while you were at the library, you fell asleep, if I recall correctly.
I think so. And you said something is going to happen.
Yes, while you fall asleep, you enter into an almost trance-like state because you did not just fall asleep. No, something more happened. I'm actually filling out that map bit now, so the Wanti Temple thing is actually marked properly on the map. Shouldn't take more than a second to finish this up. There we go.
You did mark the pirate crash site. Is it going to have some significance later?
Nope, but I might add it to the map depending on how I feel like it for like later adventures, because it's fun when
Sure.
legacy events happen. Um,
That makes sense. If we ever go back to this map with different characters, that would be neat.
so the point is, you fall asleep. You fall into a trance. You had similar sort of half trances on your way here, which might be the result of the stone. It might just be everything that's happening recently. Your
Are they
brain
getting
mulling it
worse?
over. But now, well, they were it's on like 2 day travel, so there wasn't much time for things to really develop. But now
Mm-hmm.
that you've passed out with exhaustion, you're not exactly in the mental state to, shall we say, resist what is
Resist.
going on.
Yes.
You appear in a dark space. You are standing on a
Am I
floating
aware that this
island.
is a dream?
Um, you're aware that you're not in reality. You're not at least on the material plane because you're standing on a floating island in the middle of an empty black void. Yet there seems to be a constant ambient light all over the place. In front of you is a large square temple-like structure, and there's some minor vegetation and water features.
I would like to peek over the edge real quick.
As you peek down, you see like the small streams of water that head over the edge just go into the endless abyss. You don't think there's a
That is
bottom.
fascinating. Yeah. Is it possible for me to knock a small stone down there?
There are some small items you could probably knock down.
Yep. Like a stick or a stone or something like
You
that.
bump an item down. You hear it fall, and it slowly fades out of view. Even with the constant ambient lighting, it's just too small for your eye to detect. And then eventually, you see a flash. Soundless flash.
Well, assuming the distance it traveled, the sound would probably either take a while to
It would
reach me
take a
or
while.
there's just no sound. Additionally, it could probably fall on my head again, so I should probably get a move and then walk towards the temple.
There's a large door on the temple, and before it is a stone plateau with on it a brazier. A brazier.
Brazier.
A
Brazier.
brazier, yeah. One of those large bowls that you normally put a fire in.
Yes. Do you have any items on me that will allow me to ignite it?
You have nothing on you right now. In fact, you're not even wearing your clothes.
So it's one of those weird naked dreams.
It's one of those dreams where you're like, try to imagine everyone naked, but it backfires dramatically.
Yes. Ugh. Well, the good thing about lizard folk is that they don't have any dangly parts, so there's that. I wonder if I can use one of my spells, such as Spark, to ignite the brazier.
There's nothing in the brazier.
So there's no fuel.
Nope. It's
Interesting.
just an empty metal bowl with some markings on it. You can't read them.
I'd like to knock on it.
It makes a very pleasant gonging sound.
Is there any material around that I can use to ignite it?
There's random vegetation like some dry shrubs and such.
Hmm. In which case, I would like to get some kindling and just put it in there.
Okay. You manage to fill up around to half before you decide that should be enough.
Yes. And then ignite it.
You try to cast
Assuming I can
spark,
use.
but nothing
Yes.
happens. But despite your efforts, it does in fact ignite.
So I don't feel the magic actually happen, but
No,
it
it's
does
not like
ignite.
the usual spell casting. It's more like you're sort of doing a psionic mind thing to ignite something.
Hmm.
And as you light the brazier, the door slowly creaks open.
Amazing.
Hmm? Yeah.
Is there anything visible inside the temple?
You
How
see several
big is it?
pillars depicting kobolds.
Hmm.
The kobolds are in like they're in pillar-like structures, and they seem to be disconnected from the pillars themselves. And surrounding
Are
them
they
are square
floating?
tiles, some of which are marked.
Are they floating in the air?
No, they're like you look closer, you can see if they're still connected, but they're like on a lazy susan essentially. You can spin them around.
Hmm. On the turntables. How big is the structure itself?
It's a lot bigger on the inside than it was on the outside, but since you're in dream space, it's hard to exactly measure how long things are.
I see.
Like you try to count, and every time you get a different result.
Yes. Is it possible for me to fashion some sort of a torch? Or is the
The
inside of
place
the
is just as
temple
well lit as
illuminated?
outside, despite there
I
being
see.
no obvious light source. In fact, the fire doesn't emit any light either.
Can I quickly hold my hand over it for a moment to see if it's even like hot?
You hold your hand over the fire, and nothing seems to happen. It's warm, but it doesn't like burn.
I see. I would like to move inside the temple now.
You are inside the temple now. There are three sets of columns flanking the pathway leading to another door. The
Hmm.
door depicts two dragons in sort of a yin-yang formation, and in the center is a larger dragon head.
I see. I would imagine those are the three dragons that were mentioned. The Martivir, the Bahamut, and Tiamat, correct?
Could be.
Could be. Oh, fair enough.
I mean, without like any color, it's much more difficult to tell. Though one of them has 5 heads, which is usually
Hmm.
associated with Tiamat.
Okay. So let me put this down real quick just so that I know this detail for later.
Um,
What are some of the telltale features of the other two, by the way?
I actually don't know like telltale features of Bahamut. Let me just
Horns,
look it up
I
real
guess.
fast because I think he's just a platinum dragon, and there's nothing particularly defining about him.
Hmm. Silver Surfer kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like he's a big platinum dragon, but there's not like any particular features that you could stand out with in terms of just silhouette. Probably just very big.
Probably. You never know. I mean, it could be a small statue. Maybe it's like 1-to-1 size.
Hmm.
Or maybe it's 1-to-72. Never know.
Oh my god. What?
Hmm? What?
Before entering the Faerun Pantheon, he was a member of the Draconic Pantheon, known by Seymour or Zemore.
Seymour.
He was known as Seymour. Oh god, that's great. I like how gods can moonlight like that.
There's a little link for you if you'd like to take a peek real quick.
The fourth battle of Tiamat. What is
Mm-hmm.
this? Tiamat Star Zone. Oh, that's cool. Tiamat's a cool name.
Yes. They use some religious and historical names for stuff. So, that's fascinating.
Oh, the Free Planets Alliance just took a big shit on themselves, huh?
Yep.
Well, moving back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do? Because the door does not seem to open.
I would like to look around.
You take a look around the room. It's a featureless room. There are bricks on the
Mm-hmm.
wall which seem to shift in shape and size, similar to the size of the room as you try to measure it. The only consistent feature are the statues on the divots, and markings on the tiles on the floor.
I see. Is it possible for me to reach up and try to rotate the statues?
They are low
Could
enough
be
to the
one of
ground
the
you can just
keys.
sort of grab like by the tails, the easiest part. They don't seem to have any weight to them, although they stop as if
Well,
they're very heavy.
that would be rude to pull them by the tail, but sure enough.
You notice that they click at cardinal intervals.
I see. So it's a rotational dial.
Hmm.
I would like to look at the door again and see if there is any sort of hint in there to the positions that it might need.
Um, well,
Failing that,
mhm.
failing that, I would like to rotate the statues. I would imagine the correct click would be a little bit different from the rest. So if there are no hints or anything, then I would just rotate them until I hear that click.
You don't notice anything on the door, and the clicks all sound alike.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, which way was every statue facing
They were
when I
originally all
entered?
facing inwards into the
Inwards.
pathway leading up to the next door.
I see. Is it possible for me to turn them away from the door so that they don't look at it?
You do so, but nothing seems to happen.
I see. Is there anything in the legend, or at least in the history, that I supposedly know because I rolled very high on that, that I might remember that could serve as a hint to the solution?
Um, you know that kobolds are usually associated with. You take a look on the ground, and you notice that the
Hmm.
ground, like the tiling, has strange patterns on it at irregular intervals. One of them is the symbol of Bahamut, which is the dragon face in profile.
Hmm.
And the other, what is the symbol of Tiamat? I think it's like the five-headed dragon. Yeah. Other are a five-headed dragon on the ground. And some tiles are blank.
That's interesting.
They are square tiles, and they align perfectly with the pillars.
I see. Perhaps some of the statues need to be facing towards the door, and some of them should not. Is the pattern of the tiling resemble the pattern of the pillars?
No. Essentially, the pillars occupy one tile, so there's like only four adjacent ones. And on each individual tile, sometimes is a symbol of Bahamut, and sometimes a symbol of Tiamat.
I see. Is it possible for me? Well, there's a lot more positions than just one, than just two, so that is strange. So the way I see it, it's the same mechanism, or at least in nature, as opening a safe. So I would have to have certain things rotate left clockwise, the others counterclockwise.
Oh, they rotate either direction freely.
I know, it's just I'm saying that in order to solve it properly, I'll need to do that, perhaps. Hmm. Is there anything distinctive about the kobolds themselves?
Well, they all strike different poses, but it doesn't look significant to you.
I see. Hmm. I guess they really hated being pulled by the tail, huh? All right. Oh.
As you stand around,
Mm-hmm.
you look up and you notice that the patterns, like the layout of the floor tiling, is exactly the same as on the ceiling as it is on the floor.
So it's mirrored.
Yep.
Uh, are the statues mirrored as well, or is it just the tiling?
Well, the kobolds, there's no like statues on top of the statues. Like there's only the ones at the bottom floor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the room is vertically mirrored.
If it's matching, if the ceiling is matching the floor, then technically it is mirrored.
But the pillars aren't mirrored, and the pillars go all the way to the top.
Yes. Is it possible for me to repeat the same procedure, but matching the tiling on the ceiling being mirrored? So, oh wait, no, it won't make a difference. It won't make
What are
a
you
lick of
talking about?
difference. Well, the previous attempt, the last thing that I did was to orient
Them away
the
from the center.
away from the center, then because they were facing the center, and then the next one was to uh, only orient those marked with Tiamat and
No, no, the tiles,
Bahamut.
the pillars don't have a tiling on them.
The
The
floor
pillars
has
themselves
tile.
occupy like basically
Yes.
blank tiles. So you can face them towards a tile, but you can't like the pillars themselves are not marked.
Oh, so they occupy the. Okay, are there any missing tiles with nothing in there?
There's every so often there's just a tile with nothing on it.
No, no, I meant the statues.
The statue? What do you mean?
Well, you said the statues are occupying empty tiles.
Yeah, they are occupying a full tile, so you can't. So if there is a symbol, you can't see it because it's on top of it.
I see. Is it possible to move them?
No, but you don't feel that that's relevant. It's sort of
Hmm.
like it's a support beam. Like the tile,
Yes,
the corners are put around the pillar.
I see. And then there is a section in the middle of the pillar, or at least closer to the floor, where the statue on the turntable is.
Yes.
I see. Which are rotatable, and there doesn't seem to be a system that I recognize so far
No.
to the solution, and the door doesn't open. Well, here's my usual solution. I'm gonna come up to the door and try to knock on it. Knock, knock.
Nothing happens.
Well, it was worth a try, however. Hmm.
Would you like a hint?
Uh, I would like to try and solve it, yes, but well, give me a few more minutes. We'll see how it goes.
You feel that each pillar needs to face an independent cardinal direction according to some sort of system.
Yes. So, which is what I have already tried.
Yes, you've tried two patterns where they all faced inwards or outwards.
No, 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 no. The statues that were marked that were
The
opposing to a tile with a certain thing, say Tiamat, right? They
Mhm.
would face outward, and tiles facing the
Then you rotate the
Bahamut.
statue and it faces another tile with possibly something or not something on it. Like
Ah, I.
the tile patterns are all over the place. They're all over the floor. It's not just on the pathway.
Uh-huh. Is it possible for me to rotate the statues to face the closest symbols as long as they are of the same dragon? So, for example,
You first try to turn them all to Tiamat, nothing happens.
yes,
You turn them all to Bahamut, nothing happens. Then you turn them all to an empty tile, and suddenly the door opens.
that is strange. What would have been the hint, by the way?
The hint was the fact that you're dealing with the dragon that isn't Tiamat or Bahamut,
I see.
so naturally turning the kobolds associated with the guy that isn't associated with either of them to an empty tile would have been the logical way to do it.
That is clever. I did not see through that.
Oh well. Well, up ahead,
So we can assume that this is the Mortiverse doing then,
most likely.
most likely. I would like to proceed through the door.
You are now in a large room where there are two dragon statues. There is
Hmm.
space for a third one in the center. The two dragons are sort of they stand on like two spaces that are a bit away from each other, and they sort of lean in on each other so that their heads are side by side in the center.
I see. Are those Bahamut and Tiamat?
They might be. One of them has a strange sheen to it, and the other one has five heads, of one of which is leaning forward.
I see. And there's no sign of Mortiver then.
There is space for a third dragon in between them, like a little dais.
Is there any other features in this room?
As you approach the statues, they pose you a question. What is my
All right.
flaw? They ask both.
That is peculiar. Am I able to recall anything from the legends about them?
You know
That
that
might be the
Tiamat
answer.
was a bitch and Bahamut was uptight. You kind of know that
Discord.
Bahamut kind of had some issues with Martivir because of the whole, you know, they didn't have the same idea of what was good in the world.
I see. Well, both of their flaws would probably be Discord or something along these lines.
As you speak the word discord, the Tiamat statue crumbles.
Hmm. Okay, fair enough. Considering Martivir and Bahamut bashed heads against topics, I would imagine it would be pride or something along that topic.
Well, they're dragons. They all have pride, so...
Well, doesn't mean it can't be a flaw, but let me think about that.
Martivir was the arbiter.
Say again?
Martivir was the arbiter who was supposed to oversee everything.
Yes. Yes, he was supposed to bring balance or whatever.
Balance and
these were
peace,
pulling.
because that's what his
Yes.
name means.
Yes, and these two were pulling in different directions. This is like that one little story about a pike, a swan, and a crawfish. Everybody was pulling in a different direction, and they didn't get anything done.
Hehehe.
Hmm. Well, I'd imagine all the dragons would be greedy, so greed doesn't really matter.
Bahamut was a lawful good kind of generous guy, so no.
So his flaw would be being goody two shoes.
Let me try to recontextualize the war a bit. Perhaps it will give you more insight. Tiamat
Perhaps.
was mostly like, I want to rule the world, and Bahamut was
Mhm.
more like, I want the world to be ruled by the mortals. Like, one was like, I want to take and enslave the world, and the other one was like, free will over all. And Martivir kind of sits in between the two. Like, it doesn't have to be a flaw that's like, it's one of the seven sins. It could just
No,
be
no, no.
something that...
I'm not viewing it in this in that matter. A flaw is more of a something that the dragon was lacking. So, for example,
No,
if
it's
Tiamat
something that
was,
Martivir himself would personally have against him.
I see,
So think from his perspective.
from his perspective. See.
You're an arbiter. You want the world to be a nice, good place.
Yeah, so one of them was bringing disorder, and the other one was bringing order.
Well, one of
So
them
probably would be the
wanted to
flaws.
enslave the world. The other one wanted the world to be completely free.
Yeah, so the one who enslaved was bringing discord,
In a sense.
in a sense.
To be fair, she probably would have brought order in the end.
Well, I mean, well, if you
Now
kill
that I think
everybody,
about
then
it,
yes, there's
actually, it should be
order.
Bahamut that collapses when you say discord.
Discord.
Yes.
So fair enough. Let me just draw an arrow. Goes.
So let me just redo that. Bahamut
Yes.
is the one that crumbles to dust because he more logically would cause discord with what he wanted to do.
Yes. And the other one wanted to bring anarchy to the world because he wanted no governance and he wanted everybody free.
Mm-hmm.
Would So it would be order and disorder
Yes.
as
But
two opposing.
you have to phrase it as something like you could accuse someone of. Like you can't just say, "I accuse you of bringing order." You got to be on shared Gora for that to work.
Hmm. Stagnation.
I'll accept it. I'll say that that's good enough for
That
Tiamat at
would be
least.
the opposite. That would be the opposite of discord. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with that, the two statues turn to dust, and a dragon forms between the two. It is a brass dragon, though very telling is that many of its protrusions are made out of solid diamond. He has a very angelic feel to him as he leans in.
Do we know what angels are in this context? In
Uh,
this particular?
you know what celestials are and what angels are.
Yes.
Like he has a very divine sense to him, a very powerful
I see.
presence in the room.
Is the statue? Is it just a statue or is it
It is a living,
alive?
breathing dragon, and he is huge.
Holy crap! I'd like to wave to him.
He kind of frowns back.
Never works.
Like this is a dragon beyond Great Worm. This is like
Yes.
top tier.
Top tier. the top dog. Well, I'm not gonna try to boop this creature.
And so you have passed my trials.
That was surprisingly hard. However, in retrospect, they were pretty simple.
I figured an Oracle of the Dragon Mystery would be better at this. But to see you have passed is enough and sufficient.
That's reasonable. Why did you summon me?
I summoned you because I have need of more to aid my cause.
I see what would be your cause in that
To bring peace
regard
to
then.
this world. Peace without enslavement. Peace without the chaos of free will.
So you want me to be your hired mercenary to kill the other two?
Not necessarily. I will have
Oh, I
ways to
probably...
welcome all into my new kingdom.
Yeah. Reformations on that big of a scale are usually not particularly welcome, nor wanted, nor peaceful.
There is little way for them to resist once it begins.
That is the problem.
Without Bahamut or Tiamat to stand in my way, and with the gods only being able to do so much.
Yes, but that sort of kind of causes a problem. How do you have the, why do you have the authority to decide who goes to the next world or not, etc.?
What do you mean the next world?
Well, technically, reform the entire world. So
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that would be getting rid of both of these forces,
Which forces?
both both order and disorder.
Well, not necessarily. Like Bahamut and Tiamat are not here right now. They're not in the material plane in any sense.
Well, of course, I'm not
So,
entirely sure where they are, but yeah, I would imagine they're not. I would imagine this guy isn't either.
yes, he's not. And that's why he's contacting you via dreams.
Yes, but mm, will this be a sort of kind of rapture event?
No, I will not reshape the world. I will simply reshape its inhabitants. Just
Into
simply.
what?
Into things I can control. If you have a keen eye, you will have noticed already.
You want to turn everybody into kobolds?
Some, those
What
worthy, will
about the
join my
other?
court to
And
spread
some
my
will turn
power
into
as.
dragons?
Yes.
Do those who get changed get a choice at all?
No.
Why?
Because if they do not change, I have no control over them.
Hmm. Would not. How is this different from enslavement?
Because I will not force them to do anything. I will simply replace everything with something I can control. And from there, I will leave it in their hands once more.
What would be the difference between now and then if you will not exert any control?
There will be no wars. There will be no destruction. When all are gathered under one banner, why would they fight?
Because internal power struggle is always real.
There's no internal power struggle if all obey. The dragons, of course.
I see. A quick, like, sort of kind of out of character
Yes.
clarification. In the history of the kobold species and subspecies and whatnot, has there been much recorded war and violence and such?
Well, depends on what kind of kobolds you're talking about. Like some kobolds, they join up with other societies. Naturally, they go to war. It's not like they're incapable of going to war, but some that like work under a dragon or that have their own societies,
I
Kobolds
see.
tend to get along pretty good.
Have there been any stories about internal strife? Like, for example, a brother kills his brother and deserves the throne or something like
Let me put
this.
it like this: they resolve situations more like bonobos than chimpanzees. They're kind of that kind of off branch, you know. Talk and
Mhm.
love over beating people up because they're not strong. They can't really fight that well, and they
Well,
really
I
can't
mean, when
afford having the
everybody's
strong
weak.
kill each other off either because strong kobolds are uncommon.
Hmm. Well,
So
strong kobolds are called dragons, really.
yeah, or they're called like I think it's called worm scourge or something like that.
Hmm.
The point is, kobolds developed like a cultural and mental system of, and also they were made to not fight each other.
I see. Personally, I see myself as being unworthy to decide for the others. So I'm having a little bit of a trouble accepting this kind of suggestion from the dragon.
Consider this an invitation into my court, as I mentioned.
Well, the appeal of power is always interesting. However, at the very least, I'll need to think this over.
Think this over. I can keep you here until the end of time if I must.
Well, that's one way to achieve immortality, you know.
I think most people would prefer to be immortal elsewhere.
True enough.
You will look behind you, by the way, and you see that everything else has sort of vanished. Like, this room is the only thing left in the dreamscape, so...
Yes.
Not even a bath to put your feet in.
Yes. And sleeping on the stone floor is probably gonna suck. Well, it does look like I don't exactly have a choice.
You can say no. It is not as if I will destroy you.
Of course, you'll just keep me here for all eternity until I
No.
change my mind.
You will wake up. I will send you back.
Hmm.
Like, you're not blackmailing you. Sort of like, hey, you wanna get ahead of, head of the curve? Elbow nudging, like, hey.
Well, the way I see it, yes, of course. However, again, as a character, as a hero, that is that was brought up on, books and stories and such. I do not view this kind of forceful change as uh, the proper way to advance things.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So personally, I view this as a big problem. If I view it as much as a slavery, as much as Tiamat, even though it's a milder form, because people do not get a choice. But the problem is, if they do get a choice, then many will choose not to do this, and then that will cause even more strife.
I warned you. If you're gonna bring this up, he's gonna debate you. He is a brass dragon, partially.
I know he likes to talk, and honestly, I would like to hear his point of view as well.
He's probably just gonna give you the whole spiel of like, how is it any different from kings and being a serf? You know, like the difference is we're
Well,
gonna be nice about this.
going to be nice about this. Well, turning the entire world into kobolds. What exactly is that going to do? Remember, I am also technically a brass dragon.
Sort of.
So we would be
You're a
stuck here.
Valtooth, technically speaking. You're corrupted by a black dragon.
Yes. But also the form of the dragon is the... Well, technically I can choose every time, but... Hmm.
He does decide to
Well,
kind of lean in. He just kind of leans it a bit, and you can see the sparkling gems, and it's kind of weird that he's sparkling at all, considering the very ambient lighting. Like, there's no direct light sources that it would be reflecting, but he does it anyway.
mm-hmm.
You do know,
Good question. Yes?
by the way, that Asteri figure is planning to undermine my plans.
A starry figure. Would that be... Wait a second. Yes, found it. Yes, we actually acquired a stone from him.
Do you know what he intends to do?
For him. From what we can tell, he intends to resurrect Tiamat or Bahamut. Which one was it? I didn't make a note.
I mean, from everything you've gathered, he's probably more likely going to go after Mardavir. Because technically Tiamat isn't... Like, there's no resurrection. None of them are dead.
Well, summoning more like,
Yes,
or
that would be a
bringing
more
them back.
accurate term.
they want, from what we've gathered so far, he wants to summon you.
Indeed. But he intends to wait. Do you know what he's going to do before he intends to summon me?
He's probably going to try to trap you, considering he is not going up to any of the others.
If someone could trap a divine dragon, then certainly the world has become something else.
You never know. Maybe they're going to summon and put you in the body of a kobold and then sell you into slavery.
What is the biggest downside to someone who aspires to power to summoning me? If they are not invited to my court.
What's the biggest downside?
They aspire to power, they are not in my court, and they are yet in my new world.
They would bring discord and such.
Why?
Because they aren't in the court, but yet they strive to power, so they would try to steal it from somebody.
They would lose their ability to strive to power, because they would be under us. So what do you think he's going to do before he summons me? What would he want to stop to make sure that he doesn't fall under the rest?
He would like to stop the world from reforming.
Then he wouldn't summon me to begin with.
Well, what is he going to try and kill
No.
Martivir?
Impressive that would be, no. They want to
Contain
find a
him?
cure. An antidote, a vaccine.
From becoming a kobold.
Then they could resist. They could maintain power.
And what exactly are they going to achieve by summoning you in that regard?
I do not know. But they clearly seem to have a plan.
Well, that is an interesting conundrum. First and foremost, this implies that he's not omnipotent. He's not all-knowing. And it's not overpresent.
You mean Martivir?
So, yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's just a really strong dragon. Really.
Yep. A quick question, however. Does his current appearance match anything implied in the legends?
Most of what's known about Martivir is that he was a brass dragon, but not really. That he was a gemstone dragon, but not really. The common theory behind his origin is that Bahamut made him out of a diamond dragon, which don't exist anymore. So it's all over the place.
So it's a mutt.
Kinda. He looks nice though.
Well, yeah, it's shiny and everything. When you first mentioned the diamonds and such, I assumed some sort of corruption or something, but he seems to be chill enough. I am not entirely sure that it is a good idea to rob people, to bring this kind of peace without letting them sort it out for themselves. It's not like they have nuclear weapons yet, so it's unlikely they will destroy the entire world in the pursuit of power.
So you refuse to join my court?
Yes, I cannot accept this kind of deal. I'm not willing to change the entire world on a whim, even though it's going to be better for them at such. That would be, in my opinion, that would be as bad as robbing them of their will by force.
Very well. I will send you back. But do know that regardless of if you join me or not, Asteri is someone to be stopped. His plans I disagree with. There's no
Well, his plans I disagree with as well, so at the very least, in that regard, our plans are aligned.
He sends you off. Unless you've got anything to say or ask, he's gonna...
Yeah, I have actually a few follow-up questions while I'm still here, if you'll listen.
He's a brass dragon, he's like, woo!
Yes. I would like to know about Esteban or Alec
What do you wish to know
and
about
Ami.
the Duke of the
What is
Sizzling
he?
Sands?
What is his relation to Shadow Asteri?
They are Rakshasha, although of different type.
Do they have any history together? Siblings,
That's racist.
rivalry?
Just because they're Rakshasha doesn't mean they know about each other. But no,
Alec
they are
was
not related
clearly
in any
very.
sense. They do have a bloodline, but it goes back way too far before it gets interesting.
I see. Well, the reason why I'm asking is because Alec was actually worried about the coup
To
that
be
was
fair,
supposedly
what I'm trying to do
instigated
would
by.
be a coup, wouldn't it?
Well, technically, yes.
That, and with the rising population of kobolds, the slow and steady accumulation of the support of the lesser people. Would you not be worried as a ruler? I mean, for fuck's sake, you live in Russia.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird. It just seems like they have similar goals, but they are on the opposite sides.
Alik just kind of wants to keep order. Like, he just hired you because he doesn't want to, get his head chopped off over something.
Yes. And Asteri just wants to throw everything into a giant
Yeah, but
fire. So I would
Steri
imagine.
wants a new world order, and Alik is just like, hey man, I just want to make everyone happy and do a good job.
So technically, they both mirror the dragons.
Could be.
Well, at the very least, it seems so far. What exactly is the relation with Rakshasa and the Kobold? Because they usually don't hang around each other.
Yes, yes, I don't quite know. Alik, what was it again? Shadow Asteri found one of my tomes. Found about my history, about how to summon me. Then he gathered kobold support, because all kobold know my name. Deep inside of them.
So he's pretending to be a false prophet then.
Isn't that all cults?
Well, they pretend to be real,
And I'm
so
here.
yes.
He just snickers a bit.
Yeah, well, in that case, is there anything that I can use as a surefire way to point out that he's bullshitting people? Any sort of sign that a true prophet of Martyr would have? Like an item or a spell or knowledge?
If you can prove that he intends not to join the kobold, I'm sure that the kobold would have an opinion about that.
Well, I can probably sway a few people around with that.
Oh, but since you don't join me, I will take the liberty of making sure they know.
Gee, thanks.
Why should I make things easy for you?
Well, for one, because you are for peace and not for instigating further fighting.
He's neutral. He's perfectly fine with like this kind of rivalry. Like this always happens. Like when it's his world, yeah, he's gonna be for it. But right now, it's like, hey,
I see. Well, this seems a little bit more malicious. So, if you're gonna keep doing that, you're gonna move from
gonna
uh
alignment shift.
yeah, you're gonna have an alignment shift, literally. As a hero, I would probably know about alignments like as a concept. It's like, if you keep doing stuff like that, you'll probably no longer be neutral, because that would imply involvement.
To be fair, if you stop Astari, you could easily stop my plans. So it's a weighing and measuring thing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure this is not the last time we meet.
It will be.
So, hmm?
Unless you attend my parade, of course.
Intend what?
His parade. Like he's like, if I make it, I'm gonna have a big parade. Wee.
I see. So, if I help him turn everybody into kobolds, that's gonna be cool. If not, then we're not gonna meet again.
Presumably not, because he's like, yep, you said no, he said no. Unless you
I
like
see.
do an atonement thing, like Like, you're not on the permanent blacklist, not like that.
Well, I understand because I'm not outright just telling him,
Well,
go
it's not like
shove
you're
it.
trying to kill him, so he's like, eh.
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill him, yes. I'm just saying I disagree with his method of achieving whatever he's planning to achieve. Well, to achieve world peace by making everybody small and blizzardy.
There are
Mm.
worse ways to make world peace.
Yes, like killing everybody or enslaving everybody.
Yep.
Or just plummeting the world into anarchy where everybody's for himself.
So,
All of these options are a little bit radical. I'm gonna go AFK for a moment. I'm gonna think this over, come back, and then I'm gonna decide. Okay?
okay. I forgot. Ah! My leg. Ugh. I forgot to take out my dice tray. Well, we haven't rolled a lot of dice, so it doesn't really matter, but this is a nice tray. I got it from Easy Roll Dice together with the dice. Wouldn't mind a sponsorship if it wouldn't mean that I had to pay 30 freaking euros to. My god, I hate that. It's like, oh, the dollar, I'm gonna save money. Nope, I still have to pay a whole bunch of freaking money for. Goddamn. What are they called again? Duana. It's not. Import fees. What is it? What is it? Ugh, that freaking game. Called Taskmaker. Has some really good voice clips. Sound bites. Especially that. Excuse me. I like that. I like that. Excuse me a lot. Really feel like someone saying excuse me. It's brief. It's short. And there's Taskmaker. I like how the game for the Apple, like in the olden days of computing, had so much space dedicated to a bunch of random ass sound clips. I want to buy more dice. I want to buy more dice. It's so expensive. I don't have money. I don't have money for anything. I'm poor. And that's after someone gave me a big old donation. I wonder what Komo's gonna do. Because I've got plans for both. Like a smart person. And that tile puzzle just makes me think of freaking dungeoneering. What a shit skill that was for RuneScape. Not, not shit in the sense that it was shit in the sense that it didn't do anything. It was just like, here's a skill that is just you do this thing with skills. And then they made Inventor. I'm like, God, you did. Jesus fucking Christ, people. You don't need skills all over the place. Yuck. Divination. Divination's fucking rune span. Ugh. Ugh. At least farming felt like it was something you did. This construction was nice too. They got divination. What the fuck is divination? Like, they're so like, this is the 5th age now. Man. This intermission is just me rambling about RuneScape, I guess. Or just rambling about random shit until we're waiting for Komo to come back and make his decision. What is it called? Duana. Customs. Oh, that's what it's called. It's called customs. Tip of my tongue. Yes. Stupid customs. Hello there, We Love Mario. Waiting for the person that the solo thing's about to come back. Until then, I'm rambling about stuff. Bitching about the fact that even if I'm poor, and even if I got sponsored by someone, I still have to pay for customs, which sucks because it's so expensive. The first time I found out was terrible. I was like, "Here's here's your package. You've waited for this for months." And I was like, "Also, I need to collect like 30 euros." Oh, it's Pizza Pony. That's neat. That's nice. I'm surprised to see you here. How did you? What? In case you want a quick catch up, Komo's in a dreamscape and he's talking to one of the big players. And he now has to make a decision if he's going to say yes or no to the question. It's gonna be fun if he says no. It's gonna be fun if he says yes. It's gonna be especially fun if he says no. Because of a detail that he might remember that might be problematic. YouTube recommended this. I don't know why. That's weird. I didn't know YouTube recommended streams to begin with. I thought YouTube just recommended static videos, because, you know, recommending a stream is kind of awkward. It's like, here's a stream you might like, and it's like, but I'm done with the stream. And you're like, fuck you, YouTube. Get new pants. Do something about this. Ugh. Nice of you to come by, though. I don't mind if you stay or go, but nice to have you around. To say hello. Oh man, that just reminds me of all those freaking machines. The little 108 game arcade machines they had. Where you could change the language and go, hello. I didn't understand those machines at all. I just thought it was funny. That was so weird. Man, I was a dumb little shit back then. Listen to while playing WoW. WoW. I know a lot of people that play WoW. I used to not, and now I do. It's so weird. I now know people playing WoW. Oh, my leg! Ah! I thought the rowing was good for me, but it just made me tear my muscles apart, and now it hurts. It's great. I want to talk about something D&D related. That would be a better way to fill some space. But at the same time, I don't know what to talk about. I guess I could talk about some of the stuff I've been writing up. Like, I enjoy the little A's better. Why? That's fun. Something I wanted to do for a while. The idea of, because we're entering in a world where it's, like, more and more difficult to say, like, well, orcs are just evil. It's like, why? Like, the orc baby conundrum itself. You could answer that in AD&D days and say, well, they're freaking orcs. And the answer was done. But nowadays, it's like, they're orcs, and someone's going to go, like, but that's racist. And you're going to have to answer that question. I mean, you could always just say, well, in this world, they're all elemental evil, but then, you know, people are going to be like, I want to go to a world where that isn't the case. And, like, a mind flayer can walk into town, and everyone's like, hey, Bob. Because that's an interesting question. And it's such a modern thing. Like, this is the thing. And there's something that I really like about people. Like, why D&D all about combat? It's like, this combat engine. If you don't want to play combat, buy another fucking game. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Monsters in town. Yeah, it's like such a big movement lately. Of like, I want to do stuff. I just want to do stuff. And everyone just sort of kind of fucks around with it. And I'm like, man, what's the point of D&D even if it's not going to stay what it is? Like, what's the point of a system if the system itself changes? Where's your identity in that? Like, if D&D suddenly has a social combat system but has, like, minimal combat rules, like, what the fuck happened? Is that still D&D? I'd say not. I'd say that at that point you'd have betrayed the core systems, and you're in something else now. Which Wizards of the Coast can do what they want. I can't stop them. I don't think I would stop them, because it doesn't mean Pathfinder stops existing, or 3.5, or 5e. Like, they'll keep existing. It's just that at that point, why don't you just make a new IP? Like, if you're just gonna fucking brand stoke your shit, then you just don't do it. Like, what's the problem? What's the deal? I know there's not enough D&D because Komo isn't here, and he's the one that I'm doing this for. He walked away for a few minutes, and now it's been taking more than a few minutes. I mean, I want to talk about what's going to happen, depending on what he says, but I know that Komo is going to show up at some point, and I'm going to be like, welp, I spoiled that part. Ugh. He's probably going to say no. To be fair, no is like the good answer. Or at least the answer that's easier for me to work with. Because if he goes yes, it's a villain campaign. Is it? Is it though? It probably wouldn't be. It would be like a world-ending campaign. I'd have to say that's not canon for this world. Okay, no, this is taking a long time.
Hello.
There he is.
There I am. Were you
Komo's
talking
back.
to somebody who is visiting the stream?
Yeah, there's someone in the stream now. It's Pizza
Hello.
Pony. They're in the Pathfinders thing sometimes. I mean, in the
Yes.
Breakfast thing.
Yeah, the one who is recording stuff sometimes when Maya's missing. Well, I thought it over. I've had a drink, brought some tea, and I have a few points to raise to Martyr if he's willing to listen.
Go ahead. He's a Black Dragon. He loves to listen.
Yes, Mr. Chatterbox. Well, the way I see it, he's not really bringing any sort of neutrality by doing what he's planning to do to the two supposedly two opposing forces, to what Bahamut represents and Tiamat represents.
To be fair, those two aren't around, so his
They
job as
aren't around,
arbiter.
but they do. Yes, and he's not exactly doing a very good job at this because he's bringing another extreme to the table. Fair enough. Let's assume he does convert everybody to be kobolds,
And they all listen, and his
and
big.
they all listen, and they're all subservient to the dragons. And what's next? He
Well,
has created a uniform, monolithic culture without a shred of individuality. Everybody's a kobold that is subservient to the dragons. No cultural differences, no
well,
individual thought because everybody thinks the same way.
well, that's
There's
taking
no,
it a little too far. That's not really what it's going to do.
well, at the very least, that's the way I see what he's trying to do. If everybody is the same race without any differences, then what exactly is going to happen afterwards?
Well, I don't know, but humanity seems to be getting along just fine.
Humanity will be kobolds as well.
Yeah, but we're all one human race, and yet we have cultures.
Yes, but everybody will be kobolds.
I mean, humanity. I mean, you can just look at the U.S. The U.S. is one big monolithic country, and yes, there's
Yes.
completely different cultures all over the place.
No. That would be that's different because it's not the same culture, even though it's the same, let's say, sub races, subsets of the race, right? And like this is different. This is taking well, let's take every subspecies of humans,
Hmm.
every basic definition of race, Caucasians, Asians, etc., and just make everybody, let's say, into one, I don't know, slightly 10 person,
Like they did in South Park.
like in the South Park. Yes, that's not the way to do it, in my opinion.
Well, they need to be kobolds because he can control them. Because he's got like
Yeah,
special dragon voice to do that.
yeah,
And he can give his own dragons that power too.
yes. But again, what's next? The way I see it, what he's supposed to be doing as a representative of neutrality, an arbiter, right,
Well,
is to offer people a choice. If they want to join in this new world, fine, let them. If they don't, then let them go as well.
well, the choice is that you can still live your life as you want. Like he's not going to tell you how to live your life once he's done.
But everybody's going to be a kobold.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm having problem with.
I mean, do you choose what you were born as?
No,
Then how can anyone tell the difference?
because
It's just a
he will
generation away
forcefully
from being solved.
he's going to forcefully change everybody.
Yeah.
He's going to create a uniform culture from a multitude of cultures.
Well, that's the thing. It's like to him, he's like, "What's the problem?" Because he knows he's a dragon. He fucking sees multi-generational things all the time. So he's like, you know what you are? You're a fucking human going to an elf and say, "Why aren't you changing?" Like you don't understand like the big plan and the big benefits.
Uh,
Though to be fair, that's gods in general.
yeah. Well, he's not omnipotent either, so
You could probably kill him with enough stabs if you get the chance.
yes. I mean, it's probably going to take a few thousand years, but yes.
Or you could just
I
make
can
sure he
kill him
never
with a
shows up in the
toothpick.
first place.
Yeah. Ruin his plans and everything. Well, I am not against his idea. His intentions are interesting and good, in my opinion.
Well,
However, the methods that he's using to achieve those things are what I take offense to.
then join my
He's
court and
willing to
oversee
take.
it.
I
If you
will
want.
join it on one condition,
And that is?
and that is if you allow people a choice, if you give people a choice, if you give them, if you serve as an arbiter and provide a middle ground between what Tiamat wanted to do, which was to forcefully enslave everybody and force them to be peaceful with each other, right?
No,
And
Tiamat just
uh,
wanted like an evil kingdom empire, you know.
yes, and Bahamut, who is just, do whatever. I'm like anarchy. Yay.
No, Bahamut's whole plan was like, I'm gonna make sure that you don't have an evil dragon, and then I'm gonna fuck off. See you later.
So there. This is the other extreme. Basically anarchy, allow everybody to fend for themselves
Mm-hmm.
with no control whatsoever. One is extreme control, another one is no control whatsoever.
Yes.
Now you're trying to find now Martivir is trying to find some sort of peace or a middle ground between them.
Where people
And
can live
the way
lives.
hmm?
Well, the way he sees it is, once everyone's like in this peaceful little world, people can just live their lives that don't have to worry about shit.
Yes, but what exactly is this isn't the in my opinion, this isn't any different from the all the other extremes. What I'm saying is if he's creating his newfound world, he
Let me
should
put it like
allow
this.
people to
He
choice.
sees no problem with you solving a dispute by saying, with like magical powers, saying, it's okay, just shake hands and apologize. And with magical powers, they're like, okay, that's a great plan, and they apologize and they're okay with it. That's what he sees as an okay way of solving problems.
I know, but I don't see it as an okay way because that's manipulation of free will,
They can
assuming
still
it
do as they
exists.
wish. Like he's not going to stop people from going on adventures or having or living the lives that they wish. It's just that he doesn't want people to fight.
Well, I mean, unless he's willing, mm,
You can go whenever you wish if you have issues. I
unless
don't
he's
need
willing
you.
to turn everybody into mindless drones. I know
No, they're
he's
not going to be
probably gonna
drones.
find
They're not going
somebody
to be
else.
doing anything for him. It's going to be the same old, but
I know, but everybody's gonna be a kobold, and that's the problem. Again, we're going in circles here. He's not offering people a choice. He's forcing them, which is more of a
yeah,
Tiamat thing.
but if he doesn't offer them, if he offers them a choice, people can resist and rebel.
Yes, if they refuse that choice, then they go on their merry way. They don't turn into kobolds. Everybody who wants to turn into a kobold, fair enough. Everybody's welcome into this new kingdom
To be fair, that's
of
probably
peace
how it's
and
going to.
prosperity.
A quick note is that that's probably how it's going to start off as. Like, understand that he can't just do this snap and the whole world's different. You know, like it's a thing that's going to grow, and he's probably going to have to resort to hey, look at how great things are here tactics.
Mm-hmm.
So to some extent, it's not going to be like instantaneous. It's going to be like first the sizzling sands and then slowly expanding outwards. Hopefully,
Okay.
having some means of resisting others.
Okay, fair enough. And if somebody makes the wrong choice, if somebody disagrees with him and says, I want to stay human. It's like, I don't know. I like my human parts. I like my skin and hair and standing on my leg. uh, what's next? Is he going to force them to?
Extinction. I can wait.
So he's going.
Sterilize them.
Okay, there you go. That is a problem. This is the fucking Tiamat in disguise. Like I don't believe him. What?
Nothing.
He's not acting as the arbiter of peace. He's not offering a middle ground solution. He's offering a third extreme.
What would your way of doing things be?
Like I said, offer people a choice. If they want to switch, if they want to find. Let's imagine a Kobold Empire, right, or Federation, or whatever kind of government they decide to roll with.
Yes.
I don't know, dragons in charge, whatever. Offer everybody a choice. They can join this empire or this federation or whatever, this community as who they are, or they can convert to being kobolds or whatever. Because this is the intention is good, the idea is good, the final goal is good. The means of getting there, I have problem with. I do not wish to force people to convert or just, okay, you don't want to do it, then fine, you die.
They're not gonna die. He's just gonna say fuck off.
That's it, extinction, like you said.
Extinction by sterilization. That's like
Yes.
the end. That's by the way the end scenario is like there's only a few more human settlements, and then he's just gonna be like,
Mm-hmm. Not very neutral of him.
well, to be fair, someone's gonna clean up somehow.
Yes, but that is exactly the problem again. I would not mind people joining this new world, as kobolds or otherwise, but they should have a choice.
But then how can
You
I
know,
control them? How can I save them from themselves?
none of these. Fine. Well, he's not gonna budge, I would imagine.
He's kind of budging. Like he's kind of like I can see where you're coming from, and I can see what your problem is. Because this guy has, for a large period of time, just been sitting in his own little world, you know.
Yeah,
And he is a
that's
brass
what I'm
dragon.
saying. There is a bunch of different cultures and everything in this world, and all the other worlds, I would imagine as well. What is he going to turn all the
Nope.
Ifriti into kobolds as well? That's not going to happen. There's going to be a limit somewhere, and once that limit is reached, then what? Are you going to wage a war against the kobold, against other empires? Are you going to go into a different plane and just invade them with millions of
No.
kobolds? I mean,
He's
it
not
would
gonna.
be
He's
pretty
not gonna
epic.
go to war. That's like a specific. That's a given. He's not gonna go to anywhere with anyone.
Yes, but he's going to imply other means, which are not
No.
exactly.
His means are going to be look at how great things are here.
But
It's like
this
you
is
can.
exactly what I am proposing, except that I'm not saying, convert them or else, which is what he's asking.
So
Because that
he
the
can seize
way
on
I
one ground, which is I will let them. I can let anyone stay, but they have to be under my control. Find a way to fix that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
what
Find a way so
install
that he can control anyone, not just the kobolds.
zombify everyone, huh?
Well,
Find a way.
let,
Fair enough.
let me
I'm
make it
gonna.
different. Let me make it different. He's not like control like he's constantly in their mind. Control in the sense that
Yes.
if he needs to break up an argument, he can just go and they listen.
Yes, but that's the. But then, who's going to control him? Who's going to be checking up on him?
My court.
Yeah, well, this is going Justice League, but it's like, well, Batman, you have created a contingency plan for literally everyone in here. Do you have a contingency plan for yourself? And he's like, yes, it's called the Justice League. In that case, sure. Yes. If he's willing, if I would not be opposed to this. Everybody gets a choice. Everybody ultimately falls under the jurisdiction of him. That is fine. World peace achieved. And his lieutenants, I guess, keep him in check. I would go with that.
And then you would be one of my lieutenants, and you would sit at my
Mm-hmm.
court, and you would make decisions.
Neat.
Okay. So, you're on board with Mardivir. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. For the time being,
Oh, you can't back out of this deal.
I know. But then I'll just be using my influence as a lieutenant to change his opinion or something.
Okay. You are swept out of the dream. With it, you get a few extra bonuses. The first thing is you are allowed to pick a dragon mystery of your choosing, no level restrictions.
So anyone?
Any one.
Fine. And the most fun one, the form of the dragon.
Okay.
Let me pull up a page for that.
You can also use your dragon breath once more per day.
Yes.
Let me see if I have anything else written down. Nope, that's it.
Click. Click. Let me put that on the character sheet. Ability. Features. Scroll. Mm-hmm. Form of dragon. Blah. Copy. Paste. Okay.
Form of the dragon.
Yes, as a standard action, consume a form of a medium dragon. That's gonna scare a few people off.
Hmm.
Let me see the size of that thing.
Okay, high or low?
Low.
Oh, that's gonna be great. So, as you return from dreamland, you're not awake. You are in fact in the ethereal plane and are standing beside your own body.
Wow. Is my like, are my hands going through it?
Your hands are going through it like you're basically a ghost.
Crap, how am I standing on something? Because that is a
You're
big
kind of floating,
problem for
actually.
us. I see. Going through walls would probably be horrifying because of all the bugs that live there.
You notice Tisak Bree standing in the room, as well as a mage of sorts. It is a Rakshasha, but it is not one you know, and he
Hmm.
is wearing the little compass thing.
I see.
Your body seems to have been spirit sealed, or something.
Okay. So I would imagine Tisek is there under control,
Tisak doesn't look under
or
control.
yes, he is intentionally in the cahoots with a mage. That is fascinating.
Well, to
Okay,
be
can
fair,
I
there are
hear what they're?
like
Hmm.
Martifir is having someone conspire against him, so
Yes. So that would make sense for them to put somebody in close proximity
it is
to
entirely
the
possible
person.
that Martifir may have accidentally already told them before you
Well,
changed your mind.
yeah, that's gonna be fun.
You notice
Well,
that Tisak raises up one of his weapons, his greatsword, kind of above
yes,
your
is he
neck.
going? Yeah, well, he's gonna cut off my head. Do I have access to any of my abilities?
Not really, but roll me a perception check.
Perception check.
What the hell was that? Whoops. Oh, you can pull the chat out. That's neat.
Click.
So, despite being in the ethereal plane, where it's kind of hard to make shit out about real life, you see here a deafening. The mage
Hmm.
has a dark stain on him because it's kind of hard to make out colors. Everything's kind of this blue haze, and he falls over. You look over and see standing in the doorway a hooded stranger with a gun, two guns actually.
A gunslinger, huh?
Tissak looks over. You notice that the spell on your body is weakening.
Hmm.
So, what are you gonna do when you come to? You'll still be a bit groggy.
Yes. Well, I'm not. We're staying in an inn. I'm not gonna like blow up out the entire.
You're in the library.
Oh well, even better. I'm not gonna turn into a dragon inside the library and blow up the entire castle.
That would probably get you in a lot of trouble if you destroy a
Yes.
royal library.
What's going on? What's the ruckus? There's a dragon in the library.
Well, for now, there's gunshots in the library, and you notice that none of the guards seem to care. Like, people outside are like, hmm.
They were paid off, or they're in cahoots, or the
Yeah,
cultists have infiltrated. Yeah. One moment. I'm just gonna mute myself because I'm coughing. One sec. Oof, that was a little bit loud. Well, at the very let me check if I have any of the spells. I do. I picked up a scroll with non-lethal damage. So I'm gonna try to disable suck. If I'm able. He has a lot of armor, but he should be easier to hit with magic.
So what are you shooting at him?
Spells. Scroll, scroll, scroll. That's a lot.
There is a button for spells, by the way.
The spells that I have?
Oh no, there's no button for the spells. I thought there was a button for this. A little button
There
in the
might be.
that
Like
shows all
that.
the little spells. You hear Oracle Spellbook.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. There you go. Did we add that
What?
spell from yesterday? The infinite use scroll.
No, I forgot what spell it was actually. I think it was Fireball or something.
No, it was non-lethal damage. 4d6
Oh
or
yeah, it was
something.
the Admonishing Ray.
Yes. In which case, let me just pull in and put it in here. It's in the book.
Okay.
So add a new spell. Go to
I
information.
like how clerics get a non-lethal version of Searing Ray. Might as well get. Oh, it's actually much shorter range. I think Scorching Ray is actually medium range. So you basically have a short-range pepper spray spell.
There's no admonishing ray spell, so I'm gonna have to add it manually.
Let me begin setting it up for you.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah. Go ahead. Let me pull it up on the wiki.
It's also a force effect, so if you ever shoot a ghost with it, they can't do shit about it.
What do you mean? It goes through them, or they can't
Force
resist it?
effects are notorious for being able to hit ghosts with ease.
I see. So you would need, otherwise you would need a cursed weapon or something, or a magical weapon to hit them.
Yeah, usually need a magical weapon, or well, even with magical weapons and I think spells do half damage. Magical weapons have 50% miss chance, unless it's force or it has ghost touch. Let me copy the description, and the spell will be ready to go. Bada bing, bada boom. There she is.
That's the one.
Indeed, it is.
Yes. How much non-lethal damage does it do?
At your level,
4d6 points of non-lethal damage. Yes. Well, I'm gonna cast that when I come about.
neat.
Yes.
Okay, so roll me the 46 if you're going to cast it, or roll me the attack
Yes.
roll. Does it set up the attack roll?
Do I need to do both?
Oh wait, I need to set up the attack type. Attack type is ranged to touch ray. If we roll
Yes.
it now, it should automatically roll like a. No, it doesn't. Does it really not do that? 46 force. Okay, let's give it a second to load. Let me just make sure. Okay, now it rolls for them. Okay, that's neat. So 18.
Yes.
As you get up, Tizak is in range, but he's like surprised, like what? And suddenly gets blasted with 18 lethal.
Yep.
I wonder, does this game actually make sure that if you get over 80? Oh, cool! It actually mentions that you're staggered. That's cool. So what if I do 160? No. Okay. That's weird. He takes 18 non-lethal damage. The stranger pulls out their firearms, swirls them around, and goes in for a flurry of attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, 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 bam.
Wow.
They are quick on the draw, and they are fast on the shot. Jesus Christ. How much damage is that? See, this is what you get when you roll a critical multiplier of times 4. You basically shoot holes in everything. So that's 13
Yep.
plus 34 plus 14 plus 29. He is KO. Because he has hard to kill, he managed to survive that. Wait, did it auto-calculate that? No. It was like 90 damage, so he's like at minus 15. Weird that it says staggered, but not unconscious. Which I think is what it's supposed to be at this point. So he's unconscious.
His armor is so great that he remains standing while he's knocked out.
No, it's his plate mail. The plate mail's so sturdy that he just stays standing up.
Yep.
The stranger blows on their guns.
Yep. Probably a fire hazard in a library.
Mind explaining what's going on here, stranger?
He's asking me.
Yeah. You're the one that's not dead.
Yeah. Well, this guy's not dead either, but he's KO.
Mind telling me why your little cultist buddies are turning on you?
They aren't my buddies.
Last time I checked, you were buddies with that bold there.
Yes, we were buddies with the Bold, but I was not aware that he was with the cultists. In fact, we've been undercover.
You should know that the kobolds and the cultists got things going on, boyo.
Yes. However, assuming our previous history together, I thought he was not of the same bunch.
Hmm. Just shows you can't trust nobody out here.
Yeah, including you. So you'd better start explaining.
Let's just say that the Duke keeps a close eye on those that he hires, and he had some suspicions on you. So when he saw your little buddy walking in, he needed someone to make sure nothing was going to happen. Though to be fair, this was not what I was expecting. You see a big old beak sticking out of the hood. They're trying to be mysterious about it, but to be fair, it's kind of hard with a beak like that.
Are they Tengu?
Yep.
I love Tengu. You're cute. I gotta go up to him and pet him.
What's this about, stranger? Keep your hand where I can see him.
Yeah, it's just a tick thing.
Holy shit, though. 2 criticals. That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Well, we might have to interrogate my pal over here and see what's up.
It might take a bit for him to come to, unless you got something to wake him up a bit faster.
Can light him on fire.
I don't think that'll wake him up.
It's probably gonna kill him out faster. Let me check. Let me scroll back up to my spell list. Well, I don't actually suppose I have anything that can in
You
my
can
spell
heal
list
him.
that could work. Fair enough. Oh yeah, sure. Click.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yes, cure moderate wounds.
Bazinga.
Yes, I clicked it, but it didn't work, seemingly. But yes, I have used that. There we go. Wow, it takes a long time.
Wow, really? You rolled 2 ones?
Mm-hmm. Killed him just a smidge. That's probably not enough to bring him over.
No.
0.
It does do him a bit of good, because it's like 7. But he's still like, he's out cold. Like, his hard to kill thing doesn't really kick in when he's unconscious.
Hmm.
Like, he's not dying is the point, but he's not, like, conscious either, because I think you can still fall unconscious if you got hard to kill.
I think so. You still need like a constitution check or something.
No, it's just that you don't die as fast.
Hmm. Well, let's try it again. Probably disarm him and just take weapons away, not literally rip his armors off.
Stranger takes his weapons away so he doesn't have them.
Yes. I should probably check if he has like a cyanide pill in the tooth.
He doesn't. His teeth look just as, smelly as usual.
Yes.
Stranger's like, what the hell are you looking for? I mean, those
Just a
do exist.
precaution.
There is a book that actually details. Yeah.
Well, this guy has been beaten and he has been discovered. I would imagine he would probably have some means of him himself, so he doesn't reveal the information that he shouldn't.
To be fair, he might be willing to listen to what you have to say, because he does owe you a life debt. So he probably is like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, since you managed to shoot me.
Maybe. Also, potentially, it was a ruse as well. Maybe they're playing really long game.
A what?
I mean, the really long game.
You just said ooze or what?
Wait, I said the ruse.
Oh,
R-U-S-E.
ruse. Hmm.
Yes. A ruse.
Well, go ahead and smack him with another healing blow.
Okay. Hey! And I just smack him on the noggin.
Okay, 11. That's
Plus
actually
plus.
enough to bring him to consciousness at the very least.
Yeah. Well, if he's gonna do something weird, I'm gonna bring him unconscious again.
Now, well, he is conscious. He's like basically on the brink of it. So,
Yes.
what do you want to ask him?
Well, I have another healing spell right here if you want it, but I will need some answers.
What do you need answers for? Like, what answers do you need?
The answers that I would need is, did the dude really tell him? And how did he notify them, by the way, of
Okay,
this?
so you've been asleep for a long time. You don't have
Hmm.
no clue how long you've been asleep, but it's like morning now. So they
So
probably had a
probably
lot of
any
time
time.
to plan this.
Hmm.
Well, a lot of time, relatively speaking.
Yes.
Um, so what he tells you is that he was on the ship. He eventually got bored. Thought, you know what? I'll just deliver this. See what comes out of that. Do some personal investigating.
Yes.
Because if he's on good faith, he might nerm some more. He went over. The guy explained like, "Oh man, it's all about Martivir. Gonna do good." And he's like, "Oh man, that's the Kobold thing. That's a good thing. I don't know. I'm gonna
Yep.
check it out with my boss." And then he's like, "But he's actually against him. Like, but he says that he feels a bit funky about that now. Like it sounded like a great idea back then, but it doesn't sound that good now somehow.
Was he under the influence? Possible to detect that?
Roll me spellcraft.
Uh, that and also probably skills. Oh wait, I can just put it here. All skills. There you go. Spellcraft. Oops.
No,
Yeah, I have no idea. Yes.
no, you're just it's very well hidden spell, very sneaky spell. But
Hmm.
lucky for you, the stranger is also a
Unless they filled it as well. Yes.
the stranger is actually a sorcerer who's just really good
Uh-huh.
with shooting guns, and
That's
also
that's
has like
great.
has a die show. So you have no clue where they're from. But they're like, yep, that's typical suggestion magic, all right. Or might even be Gaius. Who knows? Geis, or whatever it's called.
Mm. Wait, the weapons or what? Or the spell?
Spell.
Did you
Like the
spell it
stranger's
out?
like looks like your friend here got blasted with some mind magic.
Yeah. Is it possible to verify?
Well, the spellcraft check basically says yep, and detect magic
Mm.
points out there's some magic going on.
Well, in that case, we'll need to work on the whole spell resistance. You probably need some leather armor. Well,
That's
he
not how
shut
that
him
works.
up.
It's not a touch spell, so armor doesn't
It
help
isn't.
there.
So he just failed the will save, I guess.
Yes, he failed to save.
You need to be more willful, you know? We're
What is
gonna
his,
feed you all the will-o-wisps that we find next time.
his will save is 3. It's like his lowest save, so it's understandable that someone
Yeah.
managed to persuade him.
Yep. Well, you probably shouldn't handle the talking.
That being said, he's got like some pretty heavy bullet wounds, so he's gonna be out of the fight for a couple of like a week, even with his
Yeah,
mythic
I'm just
powers.
gonna I'm just gonna bash him on the head for first of all being stupid, then second of all for almost killing me.
He's all like, "Man, I'm never gonna live that life debt down now."
Say again?
He's never gonna live that life debt down now
Why not?
because
He
he
didn't
tried to
actually
kill
kill
you.
him?
That's not how life debts work.
Yes.
That's how you make
Technically,
more
he
of him.
didn't kill him. Uh, okay. You now have 2 life debts. We're gonna make sure you exercise a little bit and eat healthy so you do actually live 2 lifetimes.
Well, unfortunately, the local constabulary might have something to say about your friend being on the side of the cultists.
Yeah. What does he has to say about that?
They might put him in jail.
Well,
because
it's
he's
probably going to be the
conspiring.
safest place for him. Well, he's not exactly conspiring. We just discovered exactly he was under the influence. He might be under the influence again, assuming we get separated again. So the safest place for him would really to be either in the infirmary, where he can recover, or with me,
So the
because I'll keep
problem
an eye on
is
him.
that the stranger is kind of contractually obliged to not lie about this.
You're not. He's not going to lie about it.
He's gonna tell like, hey, he tried to kill him, and he's probably was in cahoots with this cloaked guy that clearly is like a cultist.
No, he's going to say that the uh, Tisak here was under the influence of the spell, and we have managed to break the spell.
The spell suggestion ain't a mind controller, you know.
It is still a suggestion.
Suggestion is like you kind of go if someone would in
It's
some
a little bit
possible
more
space do it.
interesting.
Suggestion makes you do it.
Yeah, because technically I'm going against the quote unquote, depending on what the dude said. I mean, depending on what the dragon told the cultists. Well, I'm
The
gonna try to persuade him. Is what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay, how are you gonna try to persuade him?
Well, the way I see it, technically this is a moral gray area for
You're
my
in a bit of a
partner
pickle,
here.
all things considered, because technically speaking, you're
Yes.
also on the bad side of things, because you're kind of trying to
Oh.
do what the cults are doing, but not really.
Yes, I'm not. I'm actually following a completely different thing.
Okay, then you could technically weasel your way out of this.
Yes, I'm gonna whizzle my way out of this. Uh, right. So how much exactly does he know about the whole cultist thing?
So what
What
the
is their
stranger
goal,
knows
etc.?
is that okay, so what would they know at this point? Well, the most they know is that kobolds are involved with it, because your friend, you know, like
Yes.
by this point they figured out something. Um, that's kind of it. They know that they're trying to do something in terms of like overthrowing power of some sorts.
Right. Well, technically, from what I have gathered so far, at the very least, is that the cultists, namely Shadow Asteri, is trying to summon Martivir, the Arbiter, and to either strike a deal with him or to steal his power, or in any way get in on the plan of Martivir. Martivir, however, is currently he's sort of kind of
That's what they need the
on
stones
the
for.
ropes. Hmm?
That's what they need the stones for.
Yeah, that's what they need the stones for. But Martivir itself is on the ropes about his whole plan.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been pretty single-minded about it, but I think I might have managed to persuade him or at least change the thing. Right, his initial plan has involved turning everybody into a kobold, which is what my friend over here was worried about. So, which is why the suggestion has worked. Technically, I'm going against the plan that will give world domination to the kobolds.
Well, the kobolds wouldn't be in charge, but
The kobolds wouldn't be in charge, but everybody would be a kobold.
okay.
So, yeah. Point is, it's more power to the kobolds as opposed and take power away from everybody else. So, right. So I might have or might have not persuaded this Martivir. It's a long story. I'm not entirely sure they would actually believe me that I've been in contact with the thing.
No, they won't.
They won't. So I'm just gonna say it like it is. According to legends, the Martivir is supposed to enact a middle ground between two opposing dragons, between Bahamut and Tiamat. Bahamut wants to
Bahamut
take
was
over the
like
world.
Bahamut
Yeah.
wanted to make free will, and then would take
Oh,
none of the
the other way
responsibility
around.
for it.
There we go. Bahamut wants to completely remove its own everyone's presence from the world. I mean, the dragon's presence, and piss off and let people sort themselves out. The Tiamat is the direct opposite of him, and he wants to take over the world and enforce
And control,
everybody to
micromanage
be nice
everyone's
to each
lives,
other.
basically.
Yes, to control everything. Martivir is supposed to be the middle ground between the two. However, he has been clearly influenced by something. according to the last thing that we know from the cultists and from the research that we've done. So potentially he is messing with stuff as well. So
Mhm.
the suggestion spell worked on my pal here because technically I'm going against the plan that would bring
That's
peace
not
and
how
prosperity
suggestion
to the
works, but
kobolds.
yes.
Yes. Well, like you said, there needs to be an idea there for it to work in the first place. So
Well,
they're
yeah, with the person,
like
it's not like
that.
universal truths.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It worked on my partner. It worked on Tisag because he already had the suggestion there. He was conflicted about
Okay.
it.
The
That
the stranger nods and goes, so what's your plan?
so the plan currently is to show up to Shadow Asteri and stop him. At
You
the
really
very
think you can
least.
take him?
I would imagine.
Nope.
I have a couple aces up my sleeve to
You
do
can't
so.
even take on a regular Rakshasha, let alone like a regular like full power Rakshasha, let alone what he is. Like when you were with him, you could sense his power. Like he's pretty beef.
When I was with him.
Yeah. Like while you were around him, like he tried to mask it, but he's got mythic powers and he's got the
I
Rakshasha
see.
full power. Like he's a false Tressa. He's a full monster.
In
He's
which
not your
case we
average
will
monster.
either need to we will need some preparation, or we will need once again an ace up our sleeve, or we will need to show up with the entire army.
I don't think the entire army is going to fit in his church.
Okay, they will be going in into 5-man groups, and then they will be switching out as they get injured. Come on, twiddle them down.
That's awfully optimistic of you. Um,
Yeah.
well,
But we know that they know that we will be coming because the cultists clearly showed up and tried to kill me.
hmm
Point is, I need to go and farm experience.
yep. You need to go on some great hunts and
Get
then
better.
grind some equipment.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we are in possession of the stone that will be needed to summon. Do we have the stone, by the way? Or
Nope,
did he take
your
it with
friend
him?
gave off the stone
Mm.
because he wanted to do some of his own investigation. He's like, oh, if I get some trust, I can probably get some more information. That was his angle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna slap him. Slap.
Ah!
Yes.
You could probably knock him out if you hit him hard enough.
Yeah. And I'm gonna heal him up and knock him out again. I'm gonna repeat that to work out some frustrations.
Well,
Seriously, I'm gonna make two axes, like in Quake, right?
hmm
One axe does damage, the other axe heals.
there is actually I think a glove or something in 3.5's Magic Item Compendium that when you activate it, it inflicts cure moderate wounds and you hurt something. And you need to hurt them for the spell to work. The idea is that you can use it to find undead, but
Mhm.
it's a hilarious item nonetheless. It's called the
Well,
Inquisitor something.
punch somebody with one hand, punch somebody with the other hand, and instantly heal them all. This
Um,
is the best. This is probably the most hilarious way to interrogate somebody because you are healing their wounds immediately, so they
well,
still feel the pain, but there is no lasting damage.
if you need to get some experience, stranger, there's a
Yes.
good way for us to get some blood flowing.
Yep.
We happen to know that they're sending some sort of package through the Underdark. We don't know what it is, but they're gonna come out the, you know, Discasal soon enough.
Say again.
Discasal. It's west of Tel Alim. It's the big mountain with the little hill with the hole in it. It's the cave town. It's connected to
But
the underground tunnel network.
yes, I'm gonna pull out the map again. Where is it? Which page is it? Where is it? Did I lose it again? One second, it should be. There we go. There's the map. Map is open. Could you give me
West of Tel Alim.
this Kazal? That's the one?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like a caves in the sands.
Yeah, it's a town built underground, really.
Hmm. So you're sending the cultists there.
No, there are cultists there right now, and well, they're underground. They're using the underground tunnel networks, and
I
they're
see.
moving in to deliver something.
I would imagine it's one of the other stones,
Most likely.
most likely, and they will need it to finish the ritual.
Who knows how many stones they need, though.
Who knows? Who knows how many exist? Is there any particular reasons that they were spread out like this?
Probably on Bahamut's, like when they were spreading Tiamat, they were like, oh, Bahamut, how about we spread out these other things too?
And they just tossed them around?
Hmm.
Makes sense, I suppose. No, good thing I used the non-lethal damage on him, but too bad the other guy shut him up. So we will need somebody to pilot to drive the ship, to sail the ship.
The stranger is no sailor.
Yeah, I know. He's a bird. He can probably fly.
Can he? I don't think he can. He's a
Maybe he can float or something.
no. He's a flightless Tengu.
Hmm.
It makes your profile look better.
Should I offer him a cracker?
He wouldn't mind. They wouldn't mind.
That's good, but I'm not gonna be like all racist about it and just here they have some crackers. You wanna?
Well, the stranger is gonna have to report to the Duke, however, about the situation at hand.
Sure, I'm gonna just drag Tisak with me and go up there
Just gonna leave that
immediately.
bloody cultist corpse on the ground. That's someone else's
I'm
problem.
I'm gonna gr grab the dude by the leg and also drag him and just leave like a trail of blood up to the throne room. It's like there.
He's just like the Duke just sighs as you come in.
Oh, sorry, phone calling. I'm gonna take a mute for a sec.
Then I'm gonna open this bag of candy and eat some.
Well, it was just some spam.
Radical.
Yep. So we showed up with a corpse and half a corpse.
The Duke wants an explanation. Like, for one,
Easy
why
enough.
you're not being dragged away to jail or dead, why your friend isn't dragged away to jail or dead, and why that guy is dead and dragged.
Well, that's an interesting story. I would suggest you bring out some drinks for that.
He's not bringing out
After
drinks until he's
which,
heard it.
well, I should probably have a drink, but in case they throw it sore or something. So I'm going to recite the whole thing. I would imagine he would actually believe this.
What are you telling him?
Well, I have received a vision from Martivir, the supposed arbiter between the forces of Bahamut and Tiamat, and he has made a proposition. The proposition, which I had amended, by the way, and the cultists tried to stop me. They have used the influence. They have used a magic influence spell on my partner here to
Mm-hmm.
try and kill me while I was out of it, and we have dealt with that, as you can see, from all the blood.
Yes. So
And then your Tengu secret agent assisted
here's
us.
the problem, though. You received a
Yeah.
vision from Martivir.
Yes.
Doesn't that make you sound super suspicious?
It does.
How do you intend to lessen that?
Yes.
Because if you don't lessen that impact, he's going to be like, "Yep, you're going in jail. Goodbye."
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know that I'm gonna just walk out of it. I mean, I'm on his side. I represent all the various races and whatnot of the people to Martyr. Like, I'm on the good side. He might not realize it, sure. And if he kicks me out, I'm still gonna be working on that, despite him being an asshole.
Well, the
Okay.
Duke is
Let
just
me
like
think of
looking
something.
out for his people. You're not exactly making a good case for yourself.
I know.
You call him the asshole.
Yep. I'm looking for his people out as well.
And why would that be?
Because Martivir wants to turn everybody into kobolds, and I'm saying no to that.
How about we just don't let Martivir coming in?
The problem with that is that Mortimer is coming whether we want this or not, because
Why?
the cultists want to summon him.
Then we
They're
get rid of the
collecting the stones.
cultists.
Yes,
I fail to see why Martivir has to happen.
doesn't have to.
And yet here you are, presenting it as if it will.
I'm not presenting it as his. I'm telling you what Mortimer wants. This is his plan. This is his end goal.
And where do you stand?
I stand on, if this shit happens, it should be made out of. There should be free will. It should not be forced on anyone. Ultimately, I
are you
support.
going to help Martivir, or are you going to help us? Will you bring
Well,
him
he hasn't
about?
exactly presented his own purpose, because looking out for his people and keeping everything the same way as it always been is not exactly like a point. Which side does he represent? Does he represent the Bahamut or the Tiamat or Markivir or whoever?
The Duke?
Yes.
The Duke is neither. He just wants to keep his kingdom and keep everyone happy and in check. He doesn't. He doesn't. He just wants to know, like, are you going to cause this revolution or not?
That's an interesting question, technically.
Because you're technically his lieutenant, and he can probably kill you. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, both can kill you. The Duke here can kill you
Yes,
right now, and if you go against
I know.
Martivir, he can kill you. So you're gonna have to answer either the truth or the lie.
Yep. Well, this is quite the conundrum I have put myself into, actually. Like I haven't told them that I'm either on either side. So
Are you with us, or are you against us?
well, do I look like a dragon? Well, a little
The
bit, but
cultists aren't dragons.
yes, but they want to steal the power of Martivir. That's the entire point. They will be subservient. They will be turned into kobolds. They want to avoid that, which is why they're going to summon Tiamat, either kill him or try to steal his power or to try to get on his good side.
Making a lot of assumptions here, but the Duke just goes, okay.
Well, at the very least, that's what we've gathered so far. Whether or not he believes it or not, whether or not his sources confirm this or not, is not like up to me. The cultists want. What we know is that the cultists are gathering stones to summon Mortivir.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they still don't have all the stones needed for this,
Yes.
and that they're gathering. That they have an extra one coming to Discazal.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether or not our end goals align or not, this is our next destination.
Yeah, you hear a click, and there's the gun barrel of the stranger at your head, and the Duke asks,
Yep.
why should I hire you when I've got someone who is on my side? Like, why would he take
Because
the risk of someone who is potentially going to backstab him over someone who's not going to backstab him?
yes, because because I disagree with Martivir as well. His end goal might be noble and good, and I might agree with it, but I do not agree with his methods. So it's in both of our interests to.
Say Martivir summoned. Where will you stand?
Let's see. Ultimately, I do not care for the power that he offers. I am in for the free will. If he wants
You're
to
in
start,
with him?
if he does summon, if he gets summoned into this world, I would imagine this is not something you can de-summon, right? It's not the spell that's there's not a spell that's going to blow up this summon. If he is in this world, then I will stand with the people until he agrees with our points. So
Well,
I will
Martivir
stand with
technically
you.
already agrees with your point because you're on his court, and you've already persuaded him on that part.
I have not pursued. I don't think I have actually pursued him completely.
Oh, he's gonna give it a shot at the very least.
Fair
You can
enough.
always just do it anyway.
Well, I'm not gonna. Like I said, I stand with the people on this. If he does get summoned, then yes. If he doesn't get summoned, then I'm gonna stand with the. Well, Either way, I'm standing with the people. I am for the free will of the people. I'm not gonna allow to turn everybody into kobolds and whatnot to be ruled over by
You
dragons.
talk as if you have some sort of sway with Martivir. Why?
He's a brass dragon and he really likes to talk. And we talked for an entire night. I was asleep for, I don't know, 12 hours. I don't know how time flows in that whatever dimension there is, but we've talked our tongues off for hours.
So you're his friend, an ally.
No, more like he's been cooped up in a hole for thousands of years, and I'm the first person who is actually like bringing up interesting points to him. He wanted to turn all of you into kobolds and to rule over you. I said, you know, he's gonna give you a choice if he is summoned.
The Duke just kind of rubs his head and goes, I'm getting a headache from you. I just want an answer. Yes or no. Martivir is outside. Where do you stand?
With the people?
What does that mean?
With the people of this world. I'm not turning everybody into
Oh,
kobolds.
yes,
This
the
is my
people of
major
this
point.
world. The people just a few miles away from here who disagree with me. You're going to... That'd be a lovely idea if the people of the world were one tribe, but...
It wouldn't be. It goes back to the same point. Well, the point that he hasn't
Do you
heard.
stand by me and try to stop him?
Ultimately, yes, I suppose.
Good.
But if he is summoned, I'm technically still standing by you because my argument here is that free
Technically?
will is.
Why
Well,
technically?
well, why? How else would you put it? First of all, I do not care for the power that he offers.
Why technically?
Because his plan will probably still go into effect. I'm just arguing for the better conditions
How do you
if
intend to do
shit
that?
hits the fan.
How do you intend to do that? What do you have
He's a
that...
chatterbox. Just talk to him
That doesn't mean
nicely.
he has to talk to you.
He talked to me. He summoned me somehow. Why else would he ask my opinion in the first place?
You see the Duke groan, and he's kind of like, okay, I know enough. You know,
So how many years of a sentence do we get?
you don't get a sentence. You just see him sort of wave his hand and then put his thumb down and go, fire. But before that can happen, you hear a rumble, and the stranger just sort of looks around real fast. Perception check, please.
God. We're gonna have to kill everybody again.
No, this doesn't sound like something that the Duke is aware of.
Wait, the Tango is aware of? I am
No,
aware
no,
of
I
it,
mean,
but
like, this is not something that the Duke had planned, like the rumbling noise.
okay, well, I clicked it. It might take a while to actually trigger. There we go. It rolled twice for some reason.
You hear the noise of, like, several relatively large things approaching.
Large what? You cut out
You hear the noise of several large humanoids approaching.
humanoid. Okay.
Indeed. I'm gonna have to set this up. Although I'm gonna do a little bit more of a skis job on this.
Okay.
In terms of, like, just taking it easy. Doing zone-based combat.
It is extremely hard to explain to a person that I'm siding with neither.
That's
That is
not
really
what he
hard
wants
because
to
he's
hear.
posing. Yes, I know he's posing a question, yes or no, and it's like, well, fuck. I'm neither with the Martyr and I'm neither with you. Also, you have a gun to my hand. That will probably affect my uh whatever I say.
That would possibly affect some things, yes.
Yeah. Now, I don't think I can survive a bullet to the head, but assuming the stats, I can probably do that. Also, fuck that cat. Seriously, Jesus Christ. What an asshole.
Duke is just kind of nervous because of all this, summoning dragon things going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, he probably should, considering he has a gun to my head. If I survive this, I'm gonna at least do some damage.
Well, the gun is no longer at your head because, as I mentioned, the stranger
Yes.
was like, "What's going on?"
Yes.
I just love how once I try to add some tokens, this whole fucking thing just explodes violently. Roll 20 could use some optimization sweeps.
Yeah.
'Cause Jesus Christ, man, this does not be this complicated. So, let me just pull this up. Okay. See if I can find any of these. Let me just drag you over here.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, but
no. He's on
oh
the ship. Somehow.
no, that's just off to the side. I should probably make these rings a bit larger, actually.
What are those anyway? Columns?
Zones. They're ostensibly just locales. Like, if you're in the same zone, you can attack each other with melee.
I
That's
see.
basically how it works. Need to be a bit bigger for this fight scene. Bada bing, bada boom, baby.
Yep.
So you are standing in middle zone. The throne is to the north. And as you stand around, loafing a bit, you notice that behind you, a bunch of ogres start to storm in. These are very strange ogres. They got some strange glowing runes on them. Um,
That is a big giveaway on who is trying to do this.
could be.
We have already seen the owlbear with the same kind of runes.
Yes, they are most likely mythic. You can sense it.
Yeah.
Um, almost the instant these guys are rushing in, the Duke orders his guard around him and tries to evacuate.
Yeah,
And
well,
says, "How
he
about
better
you
not
prove
be.
yourself by cleaning
Well,
this
how
up?"
well, how about you don't try to kill me? How's
The
that
stranger
sound?
just twirls her guns and goes, "How about we get to shooting?"
Well, fine. Do you need me to toss you? I can toss you. Just throw him at the enemies.
That won't be necessary.
He's pro he's a bird. He's light enough. I can probably toss him up somewhere up there so that they can't reach him because he's a flightless bird.
Okay, so here we are. There's some ogres rushing into the room. The stranger has her guns ready. Gives them a twirl. And goes in for one of her famous... Well, actually, no, she's not going to go in for a four-eyed action. The stranger is going to go for something else. The stranger is namely a spellcaster, and as such can cast Fireball. Now, what level is the stranger again? I think she was like a little higher than you, because I didn't expect her to be used this quickly. Yeah. You see her hand swirl around, conjuring up a big old ball of fire. And one more. There we go.
Is it possible for me to use one of my boosting abilities, by the way? Let me
What
just
do you want to use?
check. Let me check real quick. How long do these spells take? I do, first of all, have the Embrace Destiny. That would be the first one. And then I also have a second one. Let me just... Common skills, Oracle Spell. There we go. I do have Ability Enhance, apparently. Let's see what it does. There you go. For the duration of the spell, range touch. Cast in one action. Oh, I will have to forfeit my turn. And I'm going after him, so I can't do it.
You don't forget that you have Amazing Initiative. You can spend Mythic Power to have another stranded action.
And we did gather some, so I suppose we can at the very least use some of it. So let's do that. I would like to give him a bonus. Just kind of slap him on the noggin. I would like to pet this creature. I can't get over the fact that it's so funny.
Okay, so the ogres are storming the place. Let me just set up their HP values. Real lickety split.
Yep.
50 and 50. That's actually. So these are big, strong creatures. They could probably lift you and throw you around the room if they wanted to. A fireball
Yeah.
flies through the air. One of them ducks out of the way for only half damage. You didn't roll that
Is
high,
it
by the way.
is it getting the bonuses, by the way?
What bonus?
Oh, wait, that's the ability enhance.
Doesn't affect the damage of the spell, actually. She could use
Just
Wild
the
Arcana,
chest
but
hit.
it doesn't.
Okay.
After that, she takes her move action to sort of dive behind one of the nearby pillars and get some cover. Eka, your turn.
Yes. How big is this room?
Oh, quick thing, by the way. If you use your Inspired spell to use Admonishing Ray, you do get 2 rays, as a quick note. The room, what do you mean size-wise? What are you looking for?
Size-wise, well, the transformation spell.
There's
I
enough
still
room for you
couldn't
to
find
transform
it
into a medium dragon.
to medium. Okay.
Because you are a medium person, so...
Yes. And it's only a Dragon Form 1 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, let's try it. Transform. We'll use the form of the dragon. One. Brass dragon.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Yep.
for 5 minutes, you are a brass dragon.
Yep. That should be more than enough to kick their asses.
You gain +4 strength, +2 constitution, +4 natural armor. You can fly a
Is
bit.
it automatically accounted for, or is it just something that assumed?
What do you mean? No, we'll just assume it.
Okay.
I'll
We
keep.
can create
I'll
like
try
a
to keep it in
separate.
mind.
Yeah,
So
we
what are
can
you gonna do,
create
big
a
dragon
separate.
boy?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, what exactly is my breath weapon as a in the form of the dragon? Is it a line or is
60-foot
it
line of
a
fire. You
line
also
of
have
fire? So it's
burrow
the same
speed
as
of 30 feet.
speed of what?
A burrow speed, so you can dig in the ground real fast.
I'm not gonna ruin the nice castle more than I need to. I'm not gonna burrow for like stone.
Good.
Okay, so this is what I've been preparing for. Technically, if I approach them, are they all within the reach?
You could stand like here and be able to attack both of them.
Will I be able to reach all four of them?
No, you do not have that kind of reach.
Fair enough. Will I be able to reach at the very least two? Or the three, maybe?
You will be able to reach these two, the two at in this one square, because that's what melee
In the
range
middle?
works.
Yep. Well, in that case, stomp over here. And my feats technically still apply to all of my attacks, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I would like to use power attack and greater cleave on both of the claw strikes,
Mm-hmm.
on both of the wing strikes, on the tail strike, and on the bite.
Okay. Roll me the damage.
Yep. Let me consult my page. Okay, so that would be 2d6. Oh, wait, first of all, I need to roll if they actually connect, so that would be melee attacks, I assume. Or how should we go about it? Safi?
Melee attacks, but add your strength modifier +2, so basically ranged.
Yeah. So that's one.
16.
That's one strike. That's the other strike. That's the other wing. That's the second wing. That's the tail. That's the bite. All of them connect.
Um,
Wait,
first,
except for the first one because 14.
you're hitting AC 19, so the other ones connect. So roll for damage for each of them.
Okay, so the first two don't connect, the claws don't connect, but the wings, the tail, and the bite
The
connect.
second claw does, because it's a 19.
Oh, because +2. Okay.
Yes.
So, 2 claws, 1d6. So, R 1d6. And assuming it's a power attack, technically I'm getting a plus damage.
Oh, no. If you do power attack, you're going to lose 1 BAB, so that one misses.
Yes, because in order to use the
Power attack's
cleave,
-1 attack,
actually,
so yes. You
yes.
only hit with the non-claw attacks.
With the wings, with a bite, with a tail. So in that case, I don't roll 1d6. I actually roll
Plus, you got a
1d4.
critical on your on one of them.
Well, that's the wing. So I
Okay.
suppose I just roll twice. Do I need to roll to
Roll
confirm?
twice, add your damage bonus twice.
Okay, so 1d4, 1d4. Go. 2 and 1. And the
Uh,
strength bonus plus 4, that would be 18 strength, so it would be plus 4.
yes.
So it's
Plus
6.
8. Oh no, yeah, plus 8, yes. Plus 8, and then your power attack bonus of plus 2.
So that's plus 10.
Yep.
So that's 12 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No. The base strength is 14. With the plus 4 from the dragon form, it's going to go into 18, so it becomes plus 4
Yes.
modifier.
Yep.
But how
And you've
did
got a
we end
critical,
up
so it
with?
doubles.
Oh! Okay, so that's that. Now we need to roll for the
Which one
tail
takes that
attack.
damage?
The one on the left.
Okay.
The middle pair, the one on the left.
How much damage was it again? Minus... It was...
Minus 12 and minus 11.
Okay. You hit him pretty good with your wing.
Yep.
And the other one just smacks him too.
Right. So since it is a cleave attack and it connected, I get to attack the second one with the same attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I am. Oh my God, it doesn't support that, but okay. 1d4. 1d4. Oh wait, I don't roll the damage. I need to roll attacks first. So. Okay, I'm gonna actually keep track of everything. So 2 of the wing attacks connected, so I'm getting 2 wing attacks on that. So let's now roll the tail. Ugh. Tail connected, so let's roll the damage for the tail. Tail is. Does it say? I don't think it actually does say. Let me check. Maybe it doesn't. Nope, only in the form of the dragon too. So that one falls through. That one doesn't happen. In which case, I roll for damage for the bite, and that is 1d8 plus 10. Did it roll?
Not yet.
It rolled 2, so it's 12 more damage.
Okie-do.
So
12 on the guy
that's
to the left.
so that's 31 damage on the left one. Now let's roll attacks for the dude on the right.
Mm-hmm.
That would be melee 1. Come on. Go ahead. That's a miss. Melee 2. That's a miss. Melee 3. That's a miss.
Yep. You kind of whiff it all over the place.
Yes.
Unless you're going to use Amazing Initiative, your turn is over.
I am technically in position
Mm-hmm.
to use the breath attack as well.
To hit one of them, yes.
Yes. Well, if I do use the initiative, do I get 1 standard action or do I get just a full turn?
Ooh.
Which means a movement point as well.
Mm-hmm. You can
Well, which
spend
is
it for a movement.
I can spend it for movement, or can I spend it for movement and an attack?
You
How
can use it
exactly
once
does
per
it?
turn, I think.
Once per turn to get an extra action or an extra
It
move,
costs mythic
or
power to use, but yes, you get one standard action, which can be a move action or a standard action.
I see. Well, in that case, my turn is over for now.
The ogres move in. I don't know why it said -2. Their initiative is -1.
Yeah. Also temporary hit points, but we'll count for that later. Yep, that's a flank.
Step forward. Step forward. Hello
This
there,
looks
buddy.
suspiciously like a goddamn gangbang. Also, I'm suspiciously small.
Because you're a medium dragon.
Yes.
Rolling once. That is... What's your AC? Your AC is pretty high, I think, because you now have the +4 from natural armor, don't you?
It should be.
In that case...
22.
That's a miss. Miss. That's a hit. And that's a critical.
Ouch. Ouch.
Whew. Yeah, big thing about these attacks is was that a critical? Yeah. No. Wait. No, it's great clubs. Great clubs don't have higher multipliers. Whoops. So you just take 46 plus 14. 48.
46. 4. Let me roll it.
I roll damage.
Okay.
You take 31 damage
31.
as you are just beat up from all sides by these large creatures. Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
well,
I have a slight
what?
problem. They do
What?
another 4 damage because they get plus 2 damage for every time they take damage. So I think that's another. How many hits was that? How many hits did you land?
3.
Yeah. That's another 6 damage you're going to have to take.
37 then.
Yep.
What is my current maximum?
Oh, no, wait.
I
It's
start.
not 37. It's actually 41 because they were also hit by the fireballs.
Yes. So 41 out of how much?
I'm just going to do this, and we're going to see where it ends up. You're at 19
Sure.
health.
Cool.
Who knew that you weren't a tank?
Say again?
Who knew that you weren't a tank?
Well,
Gosh.
yeah, technically I'm not.
Well, you have the temporary hit points, so at the very least you're going to just fall unconscious by the end of this.
Yeah, plus it's very hard to kill me. I will probably get knocked out.
The Stranger. It's going to do
How many
scorching.
temporary hit points I get, by the way, from this?
It's plus 2, so you get equal to your level. So 5.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it, yep.
Casting Scorching Ray. Gotta roll some touch attacks here. What's her ranged AC attack ability? Okay, this should be too hard. She's got 11.
Yeah.
And that is a
Well,
hit.
the fun part.
And that's a whiff, but she hits once. Using Wild Arcana for this, so
Yeah.
it's a plus 2, or else you wouldn't have the bonus. That is enough. The one over here drops dead. The one.
Which one? The one that I've been kidding?
I'll put this health bar up now.
Thank you.
That one is dead.
Yeah. How much damage did I even do to it with my
You did
attacks?
most of its health bar.
Okay.
Like you didn't mess around. But it's your know what? Stranger is gonna take another action. Mythic power. And you know what? Let's try another one of these special beam boys so they can take down the other guy too.
They can take it in one shot?
Let's see. That's a hit. And that's a hit. They really don't miss that much because these guys have really shit touch AC.
Yeah. Well, the interesting point is, although I am injured, they are all within my reach. So, if I use my mythic power, I get to roll those crazy flurry attacks twice.
$25. This other ogre behind you, that's standing in front of you, that was already pretty badly beat up, is almost dead. And it's your turn.
Yep. Well, I'm going to try and enact this plan because this gives me the most DPS, and I really need to put them into the ground. So, first things first. Let's try to finish off the one that's the most injured. So that would be claw attack.
Mhm.
Click. Come on, show up. They really take their sweetest time. That's one. Second claw attack. I am swinging really far back. There
Okay,
you go.
second claw attack does a critical. I want you to roll damage right here, right now, because it might
Right
fall
here,
down
right now?
because of this.
Okay.
That's 2d6 plus your whole plus double your strength.
To 6. Plus double the strength. That'd be 8.
Yep.
There
And
you
it's
go.
a knockout blow. A single swipe of the claws, and the ogre just falls back onto the ground.
Nice.
You've got 2 more to worry about.
Yes. So, in which case, the cleave attacks still connected. So technically, I get a free claw attack on this dude.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be right. Click. I miss. I whiff. That still leaves 2 wings. So 1 miss, 2 miss. Ooh, and a bite.
And you whiff it. You whiff so much of it. Oh, the bite hits. The bite
It's not a
hits.
critical though. Yeah.
The bite hits, though.
So the bite would be
1d8 plus half your strength.
1d8. Yes. So roll 1d8 plus 2.
It's a little baby bite.
So just a nibble. Well, I did just get punched in the face.
You did just get completely destroyed, yes.
Yes. Well, valiant effort. I suppose I should be using my mythical
Mm-hmm.
initiative to roll this once again. Does it require any additional actions, or do I just notify you that I'm using?
You can tell me that you're using a Magic
Okay, so
Initiative.
I'm
What are you
using
doing
a
with the
mission.
Magic Initiative?
Mythic initiative. I'm gonna use all of my attacks again the second
That's a
round on the
full
same
round
dude.
attack to do so, so...
Does it get? Technically do I get them a second time? Because if I'm getting a full action again, then I'm getting all of these attacks back, technically.
No, you get a
The bite, the
standard
claw.
action back, not a full round.
I see. So just one standard action. What can I do?
You can do a attack. You can cast a spell.
Yes. I'm thinking what I can do. Well, I technically can use the breath attack, considering it does a ridiculous amount of damage right now, which is 6d8. So at the very least, it's going to do a 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I'm going to use the mythical initiative. I'm going to use the fire attack on this guy. So roll 6d8 fire damage. Oh wait, what am I doing? Well, I suppose I rolled for damage, but I do have an actual attack in the thing, which is a click. This. Now we just have to wait for it to work. There we go.
25. What is the DC on this? What is
Reflex DC 16.
Okie do. Botch it. He takes full damage. 25 damage to the chest.
Yep. Yep.
This is
But
just...
now they get all the boosts from the damage, and I will be dead next turn.
That depends. Oh, no, he misses, so he doesn't get any of the bonus damage. He rolled a flat 2. And that's a 1, and he drops... The other guy drops his club. And steps
So
back.
get.
And starts to charge something up.
Oh, damn it.
The other guy also decides, you know what, I'm going to step back for a bit.
Yeah.
The stranger puts away her guns.
Wait.
Nice and calm.
They're still within my reach because they stepped out. Does that proc attacks of opportunity?
No, they took a 5-foot step back. They took like a guarded step back, and technically speaking, you do not have reach. You have your adjacent reach, but they can 5-foot step out of that.
I see.
So this lady just charges across the room, goes in with her die show.
Bird for the win.
This is Eka. Whoops. Almost rolled for Eka's ability to hit things. Birdie, birdie, make this count. Birdie, birdie, hit them hard. Okay.
One is a crit. One doesn't connect. 2 don't connect.
Well.
Oh wait, it's crit confirmed.
So that's only 9 points of damage as she slashes across the ogre's chest.
Yep.
Your time to go. You hear the ogres as
Did they
starting to charge up.
Did they really roll this low, by the way?
Yep, they rolled a 1 and a 2, and they have +9, so
I have the divine intervention on my side, I suppose.
1 and a 2 in succession. Jesus. I was hoping I could at least, like, concute something close. That being said, actually, they could kill you with 1 blow. Wouldn't even need a crit.
Yep. Well, technically plus extra hit points. How much damage would they do?
2d8 plus 7.
They wouldn't kill me
They
with
would just
the...
they would make you staggered because you'd be stable, but
Yeah,
negative.
because I'll be close to 0 hit points, yeah.
Hard to kill, baby.
Yeah. Well, now the question is, do I attack the charger or do I attack this one to finish him off?
Good question.
Good question. Well, this one is half dead. If anything, I can probably... how many uses of the mythic initiative do I get, considering I haven't
As
used
many
the
as you have mythic
mythical?
power.
How much do I have? I think I have like 2.
You have like 5. I think you used like 2 of them this round or something. You have 7 in
I
max.
used Yes, I used it at the start of the thing to give her a boost to
Hmm.
relevant stat, and I used it again to use the breath attack.
You still have
There
5
we go.
uses left then. For the whole day.
Cool.
Like they want you to use it, boy.
Yep. In that case, approach the other one who's charging a weapon because, we got to focus that
It's
one
5 foot step, so you
otherwise.
don't use any actions. You can do as you wish.
Yes. So, once again, power attacks. I'm going to abuse this. Oh, wait. No, I don't need to. They'll be just proper power attacks because the other guy is not within my reach.
Hmm.
So I take -1 to hit, but I do get +2 to damage, which
Go
is a
nuts.
half of the strength modifier. Yeah. Math is hard. I'm keeping track of everything. Hard. So that would be 2 claw attacks. Clicky, clicky. Come on. Both of them whiff. 2 wings.
You got lucky wings, man.
Yeah.
Roll for damage.
And the bite. Come on. Might take a while. Sometimes yeah, there we go.
Okay, so you hit with the bite and the wings. So that's
Yes.
3d4 plus 12 and
Is it
1d8
3d4? It's actually 2d4.
but you got a crit, so you got an extra 1d4
Oh, okay. 3d4. And then I roll for 1d8.
plus your strength. So
So 3d4 plus.
mhm.
Wait,
3d4 plus 12, 1d8 plus 4.
plus 12, 8. There we go. 22 and 7.
So 29. That takes a good chunk out of him, by the way.
Yeah, but he's not dead, in which case I'm going to have to use the mythical initiative and use the fire breath attack on top of that all.
You have to roll your regular one, not the 68 on the... because you can only use that once per cast.
Yep. So that would be abilities, fire breath, click.
Okay, you blast him! And he takes enough damage to fall over dead twice over. Except he doesn't! Ba ba ba! Iron resilience!
And he also uses mythical powers, of course.
Yes, he actually has a mythical power that allows him to not die.
Does that just negate the damage that I did on the killing blow?
Yep, it completely negates all damage you do to it for the rest of the round, actually. But it didn't see to use that until you hit it with that breath attack.
Didn't think to use or didn't get to use?
Let me actually read the description again.
Because if it just spontaneously happens when
As an
somebody
immediate
dies.
action, a mythic ogre can expend 1 use of its mythic power to ignore all attacks from one creature for 1 round. So you can't hurt it until its round has come again. It just shimmers with a strange iron glow, as it is completely impervious to damage, from you at least. Yeah, something alright. The one with the club goes for a swing against the lady, who has not that great AC. This is a 50-50 shot, really. And no. Whew. Good luck for the stranger right there. But it crashes into the pillar and damages the building somewhat, because that's one hell of a swing.
Well, since we're breaking the castle, I might as well just destroy it at this point.
The other guy has finished up charging, and one of his hands has a strange glowing ball in it. He ropes it around, and touch attack.
What is my touch AC? Let me check. My touch AC is 15.
Missed it by 1. As his hand is glowing with unnatural cold, you can feel it rushing past you. It's sub-zero temperatures in that hand. You would have been turned into an
Yes.
icy statue if he touched you.
Yeah, plus I'm also weak against ice.
You would have been
In both forms.
destroyed.
I know.
This was like 66.
Yeah.
But it misses. The stranger is
Wait,
gonna...
no, I wouldn't be. I would be unconscious, but I wouldn't be dead because I have to go to minus 36.
66 could... No, yeah, could result in like enough to... No, could it? It might not, I guess.
66 is 36 maximum.
Okay.
So as long as I'm not at 0 hit points, 66 is never gonna kill me. It's
That's
gonna
neat.
put me out of yeah. Plus, I assume the absolute minimum hit points that goes down changes within the dragon form because it gets the bonuses
Mm-hmm. So,
from
back
the
to
stats.
the game. The stranger goes in for the kill, but the guy uses his iron resilience and holds its
So he's
ground,
also immune.
gaining a lot of power. You're gonna
Well,
have to
I guess
swap.
we'll have to switch targets.
Yes.
That's kind of neat. I like this. This is neat. So is it our turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, so what I am going to do is... Ooh, that's going to proc an attack of opportunity, actually.
What is?
Moving over here.
Technically speaking, you could use your amazing initiative to take a full round action to move over there and then do a standard attack.
But I am technically very long. Would it be possible for me to just pivot on point?
No.
Like the wargs did a few days ago.
You're not a warg.
Yes, but I'm long because I am a dragon.
What's that pumping outside?
I'm not sure.
Anyway. Well, what are you going to do? You can take the attack of opportunity if you really want to.
Well, the point is, I would want to use the other... I would like to use the initiative for something else, but I can only use it once per turn, right?
Yes.
There we go.
So you're going to take that attack of opportunity and eat it? Because the chances are in your favor, really.
Yes, let's try that. He's probably gonna bash me on the tail or something.
No, he misses. He does not hit you with your fantastic AC 13, which is not enough to hit you. So you manage to make it to the other side without getting
Yes.
hit.
So, I am going to use the full flurry again with power attacks, but without the cleaves because nobody's in range.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's roll the attacks. That would be 2 claw attacks. That is going to be 2 wing attacks. And a bite.
Okay. Roll your damage on the wings, because they hit.
The other wing doesn't. 1 claw hits, 1 wing hits. And the bite does not.
It does. You got a +2 unless it's a power attack.
Well, can I? Can I like go back on my decision and say, okay, that this
No.
wasn't a power attack? So
No, you can't.
there you go. I said all of them were power attacks. So
Okay.
this one doesn't connect, but he doesn't have a lot of hit points. So I roll 1d6 for claws. Yes.
It's critical, though.
1d. Yes, 1d. So that would be 2d6 plus 8. Because both of them are getting the full bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2d6 plus 8, and the one on the wing is not a critical, it's just 1d4 plus 4. There we go. That's 21 damage.
That's enough to kill him by a long shot. You kind of you throw yourself at him, and he falls back way forward.
Yes. But I would like to use my mythical power,
Mm-hmm.
and to use that to grab the bird and toss it at the enemy, so he doesn't have to spend his move action.
Bird action
And
activity.
use, yeah.
That doesn't matter because the guy's gonna move in anyway.
Well, I'm gonna do it. Look, this is mythical. It's supposed to be epic. I'm gonna toss him with the swords.
You hear this behind you.
Yes.
And they go in for a swing. A ding, a ding. That's a miss, but you have such ridiculous AC.
Mm.
You see them sort of eyeing the corners. They're plotting to escape.
Well, they're not gonna escape because I'm gonna throw a bird at them. I
That won't be
actually have
necessary.
I'm sorry?
That won't be necessary. As the
Well,
stranger
okay.
goes
With the guns.
with the guns.
One of them misses, though.
It's a 28, and that's enough to kill it. There's just these big glowing bullet wounds in him as he falls over on his front.
Yes.
And the stranger goes and then swirls them on their fingers and drops them in their holsters.
Nice. That was badass. I give them the thumbs up with all appropriate.
Actually, I'd probably have to roll Sleight of Hand to see if that worked as neat as imagined.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah. It looked pretty cool.
Check your Discord, please, for a second, because this is what I had in mind.
Okay, let me check this. What's this about? What?
They're throwing pigeons. I wanted to throw the bird.
Maybe you should get display of strength. As the creatures are dead,
Yes.
the mythical energy starts to sort of seep out of them into this big singular pool and starts to draw into you.
Oh, heck.
At the end of the session, you're going to gain a level and a mythic rank, so have fun with that.
I will.
But for now, as the chaos starts to subside, you wipe the sweat off your brow, but you're a lizard, you probably don't have any sweat glands, so...
Technically, no. So, yes, turn back into a person now, again.
The rooms seen better days. Like, these ogres were stomping all over the place. It's a bit of a mess, but it could be worse. The worst damage is that one of the columns has basically been damaged.
Yes, and I also scorched the place.
Well, you shoot lines of fire, so technically speaking, your line ends if it hits something big enough, so... Could be worse.
Well, as long as I don't, like, burn through them, so it hits whatever's behind them.
Well, I say that you got enough control. Like, one of
Yeah.
the things Martivia gave you is the power to at least not burn the whole house down.
Yes. That is fair enough.
You notice, by the way, that as you've used your breath weapon so extensively, that some of your skills look a
Yeah.
bit more brass than black.
Wow.
It's a subtle
So
effect,
it's like-
but you can notice it.
So it's like mottled skin.
Yes.
Nice. That's funky looking, because black and yellow is kind of neat. They kind of go together.
So as the mythic energy subsides into you, the situation is calm, and the Duke eventually comes back. And this is resolved in, like, less than a minute, so... Kind of impressive. The guards didn't even have time to fully mobilize for this one.
They just show up and everybody's already dead.
The Duke, however, is confused behind this, because this is not the cultists' MO, is it? Like, they
Yep.
sent animals after you and some random dudes to take you down, but they never sent, like, people, like sapient creatures. Or straight at the Duke's bloody fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, attacking someone in Tel Bakir is like attacking someone in the wilderness. Like, that doesn't require any guts. Maybe this were pirates, who knows?
A quick question. Were they specifically there to attack me or the Duke? Is it possible for me to discern which one they were trying to attack?
Sense motive.
Sense motive. Skills. Click. Sense motive. Click.
You could
Ooh,
tell that they were sort of like they were eager to take either you down or the Duke down. It would have been a good
or
fetch either
both.
way.
Yeah. Well, and I took a hit. I am half dead.
You took a bunch of hits from like giant clubs. It's all right
Yes,
to be half dead.
I got back. It was a giant mosh pit. I don't think they have mosh pits in this world, I suppose. But yeah, um, the bird almost shot me. I almost threw a bird at a person in a very fascinating manner, and I'm almost dead. So if they try to pick a fight, I'm not gonna put up much of a fight because I'll be dead.
The Duke takes a deep sigh and asks what the stranger thinks about this. And, well, they kind
Well,
of, the stranger just goes, hmm.
I don't stand with any of these points because all of these are extremes, and I'm not willing to, support either of these.
Why am I an extreme? The Duke asks.
Because you're super passive, you just want to keep the things how they were going with all the corruption and
What
death and
corruption?
inequality. Well, first of all, you have allowed the cultists to exist and you were attacked,
Well, I'm not
so
going to go
your
after every
guard.
single person who wants to have a religion in my kingdom.
No,
Or
no,
my
no, that's
dukedom.
not what I was going for. So you just had an attack on me in the library, first of all, and secondly, you had an attack on technically you in your throne room well, technically you pissed somebody off, right? And you were worrying about a coup. So you had every reason to believe that your own personal guards or people close to you were susceptible to being bribed or, influenced in other ways.
You
Because
talk
clearly
as
not
if those
everything was
kinds
really
of
great.
creatures can easily be stopped by mortal ken. My best guards are closest to me, not standing
Yeah,
at the door.
so technically you don't really have the control over your army, and those could be influenced.
Fair enough, but up until recently that wasn't really necessary.
Yeah, but apparently, as it turns out, they could be influenced very easily because, first of all, they let us through. Not us through. They let the cultist through that tried to kill me, and they also didn't warn you in advance that a bunch of these creatures were approaching. So somebody clearly was paid off to keep silent.
Uh,
So,
he just sighs and he's just like, no, this is getting too much. Everything was nice and calm, and then everything started to happen.
well, technically you started digging first.
Well, technically you
It was
started
your
digging
initiative.
first.
Well, it was his initiative. He hired me to investigate this. I did investigate exactly as he ordered me, and I just kind of snowballed out of from there. Because I assumed the cultists weren't exactly looking to kill him, and it wasn't really about a coup, more like he mistook it for something else.
Then
If
I
that makes
humbly request that you solve the situation.
Well, gee, I suppose yes.
Our intelligence is still known that they will be coming through the caves to deliver something.
Yes. I
Getting a
assume
leg up on them wouldn't be a bad idea.
assuming if we depart right now, they probably won't be able to get the message across unless they use magic, in which case, yeah. Do they know that we know?
No, not that I know.
So you don't know if they know that we know that they will be bringing in the. Nah, fine. I would imagine he would at least question the fact that Martivir is a brass dragon and I turned into a brass dragon.
At this point, he's like, listen, if those were assassins sent after me, at the very least, try to stop them, so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have gone after him directly. If you were really going to try and kill him.
Yes. Well, if I was in cahoots with the cultists at the very least,
They
I would
wouldn't
have
A,
tried to
try to
kill him.
kill you, and B, usurpers wouldn't try to kill you.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he's not one to question, like, what people turn into.
Yes. Okay, this is a good point actually. I didn't think about that one. Okay, is the secret agent woman coming with us?
Sure. I mean, Tisak will be out of commission for a bit, so if you want to move
Yep.
fast, you're gonna have to leave him behind.
Well, we're gonna put him on the ship and just dump potions in him until he gets better.
He can probably pilot the ship, yes.
He can probably pilot the ship, and plus we'll probably need like a quick getaway. So we will want him with us, if not necessarily like actively with us, but just take him with us so he waits on the ship.
Okay.
That could have gone better.
Could have gone
Also,
worse
this
too.
is like this is twists and turns. Like this is a roller coaster.
Do you like it, or?
I'm having fun. Yes. This is interesting. And I like it. Yeah, it's fun. I am not entirely sure about me trying to break whatever story they have by trying to persuade the dude. Well, all of them.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I need to adapt to you anyway, because it's in solo sessions you get a lot more flexibility, because it's a lot more about you than it is about me.
Well, let's hope it works out
Which is
in
kind of
the end.
ironic. The more players you have, the less it's about the players, which I guess is just like dilution.
I suppose.
I mean, if you go to any RPGA meeting, or whatever it's called, like if you go to one of those role-playing guild meetings, it's like, you don't fucking matter. GMs
Like
just want to grind
LARPs?
the content.
Oh. Well, yeah. Unless it's a GM that is specifically empathic and they try to play
They have
for the
deadlines and
players.
shit, man. They don't have time for that.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you have I'm glad you don't have deadline.
Yeah, boy. So,
Okay. Yes, we're gonna board the skiff and we're gonna head out. Where I'm gonna be using my magic to fix everybody up.
okay, you take your
The
day.
bird
You
didn't even get a scratch on it. I'm gonna buy a bunch of crackers just for the secret agent man.
the stranger.
Woman. Yes.
She does give you a name because it's kind of like silly to call someone stranger all the time.
And what is that name?
Her nickname is Stormfeather.
That is so badass.
Stormfeather can shoot lightning bolts. Eventually, at level 7, I think she gets it for free.
That's a cool name though. I even have a reaction image for that. Oh, come on. There we go. I think. Oh, while we are traveling, I'm looking for a specific image to
I should
represent
travel
my
across the land.
emotion. Here we go.
Oh, oh no. Oh no. I
It's
broke him. I
it's
broke him.
squashed.
No, I need
You
to.
crunched our ship.
I crunched it.
Well, it was already shot up by the pirates. There's like patches of wood everywhere.
It takes you about a day
Plus
and a
the
half to get
reaction
there,
image, so
so
yes.
along the way, I get to roll for random events.
If the pirates show up, at least we know how to deal with
This
them.
is not a trade route. You're less likely to see pirates. Like underground tunnels aside, it's not like this is where the good stuff flows. Like this is where baby pirates hang out, and they know not to fuck with people like you. Also, they taken your name. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna let
Also,
you
the what my
choose.
name?
I'm gonna let you choose on this one.
Okay.
Do you either want to have an encounter with a giant sandworm or with a sand dragon?
Or a sand dragon?
Hmm?
Could you repeat the options again?
Sand
Because it cut
dragon
out.
or a sandworm?
Is it gonna be a brass dragon?
Sand dragon. Specifically a sand dragon.
So it's gonna be like a Sandrake or a Sandrake.
A sand dragon. That is a specific type of dragon that exists.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be thematic for things like Dune. You have a sandworm, so let's meet the Shehulud.
Let me see if I can find the frickin' stat sheet for this thing.
Yeah, it's probably can swallow us whole. Damn. But so can the dragon.
It's our own little scooty scoot boat on your scoot McDoot.
Yes. Is it sliding across the sand, or is it more like of the floaty kind?
It's the kind that burrows through it, literally.
Burrows. So it's like a hydrofoil, but it's using sand as instead of water.
Let me see if I can find it. Ooh. I think this qualifies just right. Oh, come on. I just want to adjust HP. There we go. So you're
What's
on...
that red line, by the way, on the map?
That's a measuring stick, in case I want to measure something.
Okay.
So let me read the description as to what you see. An enormous bristling worm flings itself across a dune, mouth gaping. Its skin is a molted reddish brown. It has 2 small eyes, a mouth that opens in many ways, and thorns sticking out of its front, as if it is intended to burrow into something. Worm. Let me see if I can find a worm. A nice big worm. Beep.
I think I actually have something to show you right now, this, while you set everything up. First and foremost, it would be this.
How big is this thing? It is huge, so it is 3 by 3.
Ooh, that is terrifying.
This thing slithers up to your vessel,
Oh no.
and it just sort of bangs into it.
Well, this is gonna be the scene from the Tremors, where a sandworms breaks through the thing into an arsenal, and I just shoot up with like 10 million guns.
Oh
Also,
my
that
god.
is supposed to be a GIF, but it doesn't load. Or a GIF, if you like it that way. So, you can take a look at it when you have time.
So this massive creature is coming in.
Yes.
It is getting in pretty damn close at this point.
Yep.
You're
And
gonna
it
have to start
bumped
taking
into us.
action.
Yes.
Because it's crashing into your fucking ship's hull.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna try to see if I do remember anything from the history of the region on any particular means of dealing with these. So I would need to roll for knowledge history. Is that correct? Safi?
Yes, what about it?
Should I roll for knowledge history? Would you allow
It
that?
would be knowledge
Like,
nature to know about animals, so...
Well, I'm not actually trained in nature. I was more reasoning that
Go with history then, and see how high you roll.
if people actually dealt with them before, considering they probably lived here for far longer than the people. Now we need to wait for it to go through. 16, not much. So that failed.
Yeah. You know that they're big, and that some of them have been known to crash ships bigger than yours.
Yep.
Actually, let me show you the picture that comes in the Sandstorm book.
Sure.
It's called a
Go ahead.
Dune Winder. Oh, those are some cool pictures. Posted.
Wow.
Indeed.
That is the scariest thing that I've seen today.
Most likely.
Yes.
Tissac Breeze turn is first. and he's gonna try to stay at the helm and keep the ship from capsizing, which would be a sailor check on his end.
Please do.
No, I need to be under skills. All skills. Profession, profession. Okay, the ship remains somewhat stable. You're gonna lose around 10 feet of movement speed to try and keep your balance as you move, if you move at all.
Makes sense.
It's in the stranger's turn. Stranger rubs her guns together for good luck. Puts her feet down nice and sturdy. And hits. Ooh. Actually, it's
With
pretty good.
what's it? What is its AC? Because it's so
Touch
giant.
AC is 10. So that
So
is
really,
so that's 20. That's 37 damage. However, this thing is
eh,
a massive.
and has a ton of hit points,
It has a ton of hit points.
and probably a ton of armor as well.
Does it have any reductions?
Well, it looks like it's covered with pace, which will be hard to hit.
Just has a lot of natural armor. So that big flashy attack did this much.
Oof. Not a whole lot.
Eka, it's your turn.
Yep. Well, let's put my gun to good use. It's probably close enough so I can aim for its eye or something. Or for a weak spot between the plates. So... Oh, come on. There we go. It opens. Attacks. Scroll down. Let's shoot it with a big fuck off bullet. Clicky. And we wait for it to fly all 20 feet to it. Maybe it's just slow motion. I just assume it's slow motion. It's like, eh.
You put a little baby dent in it with your big old blunderbuss slug.
It just kind of whizzes off of it. Almost like a ricochet or something.
It's the creature's turn. It sweeps off to the side, and then... And as it slams back in, its mouth opens, and it starts spraying fire over the deck.
Holy crap.
Roll me a DC 20 check.
DC 20?
Reflex.
Yes.
In the meantime, a sailor check from our resident sailor. Okay, everyone takes -1 on everything. Excluding this reflex check. You make the save. Tissac does not. Defense
Is he at full hit points, but he's still injured, correct?
Oh shit, this is going to be great. Because this is a 10d6.
How much hit points do they have again?
They have way too many.
No, the stranger.
They can survive this.
Well, I sure hope they will.
Tissac, however, he looks pretty bad. He's like a negative hit points, but he holds on it and tries to keep the wheel. Yeah.
Poor boy. I'm more concerned with the ship burning up.
The ship doesn't seem to be on fire. Like whatever it's been spraying, it's more like a heat ray than a fire beam.
Huh.
Tissac is going to reach into their pocket and pops out a healing potion they have so that they can keep their hands on the wheel stably. This is 3d8 plus 10. That is 11, so that's 21. So they look a lot better now. Stranger's turn. Stranger is just like...
Deflates instantly. How much hit points do they have left? After this?
7.
Just a tiny smidge.
It's like they can use this breath check once per hour. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, am I still at low hit points, by the way?
You are now at low hit points again. You were fully healed and now you're at 17 again.
Oh.
No, wait, you took half damage. You only took half.
I did. Yeah, I didn't fail the reflex save.
How much damage was it again? It was like 43?
It was 43, so it will do
21.
20, not 22?
No, it always rounds down. So you're
Okay.
actually doing pretty fine.
Okay.
You fucking took a beam of ass blasting to the face. Guess that's why it's your face. The stranger is gonna go abracadabra, alakazam. Holy shit, man. How are you, fam? And shoots
14.
a wild arcana of 8d. I think it's 86 lightning bolt. Let me just make sure.
What exactly does wild do? Does it like randomly?
It lets them cast any spell, even if they don't know it, at +2 cast level.
Oh,
It's like
because
your
it's a
inspired
mythical.
spell, really.
Right.
37
Wow.
damage as a lightning bolt just crashes into the beast. And it's your time to shine.
Yes. Well, this bastard decided to breathe at me. I'm gonna breathe right back at it, make it shut up. Also, there's a netted token for some reason thing. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's just yeah. So it's gonna yell at me. I'm gonna yell right back at it. Eh.
Nothing happens. You hit it with fire right on, but it does nothing.
Apparently, it's immune to fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's a desert creature, so... And it spits fire. It's a reasonable assumption.
Well, I was almost immune to fire. In which case, I would like to use the mythical initiative and use the bullet again. Yes, but I need to roll for that first. So that would be click. I just assume there's like bullet time every time I click this. Slowly shooting as it flies over, it's like plink. It just ricochets off. Nothing happens.
You actually do some damage with your little bullet. Pew, pew, pew.
I did,
Yeah.
but oh wait, because it's touch AC and 10 is enough
Yes.
apparently.
10 is enough. It's a big
Yes.
target. Like, just to touch it is minimal. And within 30 feet, firearms are touch because they're so fucking fast.
Yes, and I also have 20 feet
Oh, God.
range.
Oh, God. It notices that Tissac is, like, keeping the ship from falling over. So it goes in for an
That's gonna
attack and
attack
actually
me.
hits because it is plus 18 to hit.
Oh no.
Oh, no. No is the exact way to fucking react to this. 2d8 plus 12. That is 21. Wow, that's all his healing gone right away. And
How much did he heal last time, by the way? Scroll, scroll.
oh my god, this is going to be terrible. It's going to make a grapple check now.
Is it gonna
Oh,
try to
God.
strangle a ship?
No, it's grabbing onto Tissac with his bite.
You put
It
him
is-
down, you bitch.
Okay, he takes 3d4 plus 12 poison piercing damage, and then takes poison if he fails this fort save.
Holy shit. You put him down right now.
He takes 7 more damage. Does he make the fort save? No, he doesn't. He takes 1d8
shit.
constitution damage. Oh my god. Minus... Jesus Christ. Does he even survive this now?
I don't know. How many hit points did he have at the start of this?
He takes minus 5 constitution, so his constitution... Oh, good. He is now dead.
Completely?
Well, actually, no. I need to check that again. He's at minus 20 HP.
What
Okay,
is
so
his
he is
negative-
basically... He's out of it. He's out of it and he's bitten.
Yes, but... Wait, he's hard to kill, so he supposedly has a large negative amount of hit points.
He has negative...
will-
He can make 28, and he's now at, like, minus 20.
So this thing bit him, or is he like stuck in its
Yes,
mouth?
he can take 8 more damage and he's dead.
Is he still on ship, or is he stuck in this thing?
Stuck in the beast mouth.
Ugh. Well, I would like to at least try to save him.
The stranger doesn't know what to do. It's pretty hard to hit this guy without killing the friend, too. That is 29 damage.
All the shots connect, but it's probably not enough to kill it.
And then Stranger exerts with mythic force to launch a lightning bolt. Don't be a crit one. Good.
What would be a problem with a crit one, though?
They miss.
Oh, you meant a critical miss. I thought
Creature
it was
takes another
critical
bolt of
success.
damage. and falls dead. The ship slowly loses speed, and Tissac falls into the sand, unconscious.
Oh no, poor boy. We have to fish him out right now.
Most certainly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rush up to him and a high five his face with the healing spell until he's alive. Yes, but I need to roll for that because we are following the rules. So that would be Oracle Spellbook and Cure Motor. That's +9. I suppose I'll have to keep rolling until we at least make him alive
9
again, or at
plus your
least
caster
conscious.
level, so that's 14, and then it's 9. 14 and 9 together is plus 23, so he's on his feet. He's like on his baby feet.
And there's the third one.
Heck and a half, man. Heck and a half.
I'm not gonna spam it anymore. It's like freeze reasonable to assume that yes, I do spend some time trying to get him up on his feet. But he's definitely out of it. He's staying in the hold until we arrive. Because he got shot to pieces. Thanks, by the way. Polly. And then he got eaten by a worm. Damn. I was half ready to just say, screw it. I'm turning into a dragon. I'm freaking slicing this thing to pieces.
Cheapers.
Yeah.
But the creature is dead. Tissac is alive, at the very least.
Yeah. You know what? This is what was, in my opinion, missing from some of the other sessions.
Almost dying.
Almost dying, yes.
Well,
At
here you go.
least, yes. There I go. I almost died. The bird almost died. The kobold almost died, and our ship is now on fire, and it's also broken, apparently. We're at the very least damaged.
Yep. You might have to walk for some gas.
Well, it's not running on gas, it's running on sails. I would
yeah,
imagine the sails would
you know,
break.
like when you have to run for gas to the next gas station because you're out, that kind of stuff. You're going to have to get some help.
Yeah. Stop it. Get some help.
Jesus, man. That couldn't have gone better.
Well, yeah, but you know what? These sessions are definitely improving my mood overall, so at the very least there's this. At least I'm not doom and gloom all the time, so that's good.
The stranger takes a look at the large worm body. It's a big
Yep.
worm, all right.
Yep. Good thing it wasn't mythical.
Inside, however, they find a big old chest.
Inside the worm?
They find a big old chest.
Did we crawl into the worm or did we like cut it up?
Nah, she just cuts it up. Takes some of the plating, which is worth some money.
Hmm.
The plating, by the way, is worth like 13,000 in total.
Holy crap.
This is very durable, expensive plating that's very good for ship making. So
Can we just like strap it to the sides of the ship so nobody attacks us? Or...
you can try to do that if you have like a crafting skill that you think can help with this.
Well, let me check. I do make trinkets, but I don't make ships. Let me see what can work for this. No, this wouldn't work. This probably wouldn't be very useful. Nope. No, I don't think I actually have anything right now, but I would imagine somebody at the port would be able to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have that. We'll just store them inside for now.
Okay.
What is inside the chest, however?
So in the chest, the first thing you notice is that right on top of the chest is a deck of cards in like a little playing bag.
On top of the chest or like inside the chest
Inside
on
the
top of
chest.
it?
Like inside the chest is like the first item you find is like a harrow deck.
Tarot?
Harrow deck. It's basically like a tarot deck for Pathfinder.
Ah. Cool, would you spell it out, by the way, so I can look at it?
Harrow.
So it's like
In
Okay. Yeah. All right. Pathfinder. Boom.
What kind of creature was this again? So I know what to roll.
Now Google also is freezing. No. So it's like a deck of many things or something?
It's a harrow deck of many things, to be specific, which is a
Uh-huh.
dangerous thing to use.
Let me see.
They say it never
How?
hurts to pull one, but that's the kind of words of people that got out lucky.
Yeah.
The
This
way it
roll,
works is you
unfortunately,
say up front how many you want to draw, and then you draw that many. And I'll tell you what happens.
and then there's like a bunch of different effects.
Yep.
And it's
More
54
positive or
apparently?
neutral than negative, but still a risk.
Well, yeah, let's pull that one. I think, well, I've read about it, and I think you mentioned it, and I think one of the videos actually said it.
There's, by the way, a whole like bunch of potions inside of this thing.
Yes,
They're all made of reinforced flasks, like they're made of steel.
so they won't break if I drop them.
Yep, you could probably smash them over your head and they'll still be in shape.
Yeah, well, I'm not intent on hurting myself right now.
Okay, well, let's see what you pull out. Bum 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 ba bum.
Potion of bark skin. Am I covered in dogs or am I covered in tree bark?
I don't know. I'd assume like tree bark.
I would imagine too, but you never know. Also, apparently I got a message from someone, I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Scroll of Dominate Person, that's probably what they used.
Oh,
Scroll of Horrid. Irresistible Dance. I want to know what this is. Also the trident with the light that does ice damage. This is interesting. Summon Monster 9. What is Word of Chaos, by the way?
Word of Chaos is an awesome spell. You'll love it.
Did you give it because it's awesome, or
Oh
did you
no,
roll
I
for
just
it?
rolled them together.
Word of Chaos. Let's see what that thing does if the page loads. Come on. Fine. Area. Non-chaotic creatures in a 40-feet radius spread centered on you. Duration instantaneous. None or will negates. Any non-chaotic creature within the area of the Word of Chaos spell suffers the following ill effects depending on their HD. Deafened, stunned, and deafened. Confused, stunned, and deafened. Killed, confused, stunned, and deafened. Well, I don't suppose any of my teammates are chaotic. So if they fail their saves, they're just dead.
Yep.
The effects are cumulative and concurrent. Successful will save reduces or eliminates this effect. Yeah. Living creatures die. Dead creatures are destroyed. Save negates. If the save is successful, creature takes 3d6 points of damage. Well, if everyone is dead, if everyone dies and I'm the last one, I'm just reading it. I don't care. Well, greater polymorph. What is that?
It's polymorph, but greater.
Yes, but what exactly does that entail over the regular polymorph? And what's the difference with a baleful polymorph?
Baleful polymorph is like you intentionally try to do something to someone. I think regular polymorph. I think that's like baleful is you turn someone into like a small baby animal.
This spell transforms a willing creature. Oh, it's a willing creature into an animal, humanoid, or elemental of your choosing. The spell has no effect on unwilling creatures, nor can creature being targeted by the spell influence the new form assumed, apart from conveying its wishes, if any, to you verbally. If you use the spell to cause the target to take on the form of an animal, the spell functions shape 2. If the form is that of an elemental, the spell functions as elemental body 1. If the form is that of the humanoid, the spell functions as an alter self. The subject may choose to resume its normal form as a full round action. Doing so ends the spell for that subject. And greater one, it functions exactly as the polymorph, except that it allows the creature to take on the form of a dragon or a plant creature. If you use the spell to cause the target to take on the form of an animal or magical beast, it functions as a beast shape 4. If the form of elemental body 3, so it's just an upgraded version of it. And I can also make people into dragons. Awesome. And how long does it last? 1 minute per level of the caster, I assume.
So, you want to draw your hero card yet?
Ah,
Because you've declared
yes.
it, you're going to have to draw it.
Wait a
Bum,
second.
bum,
I have
bum.
to declare how many cards and
You
then
have to
draw it?
declare how many cards you want to draw.
Everybody is gonna pull one, I suppose. I'm just gonna heal everybody up to max, though, just in case. And
Komo,
then, yes,
you have
I will
drawn...
draw one card.
Okay. You have drawn the Snake Bite.
God.
It's actually a very decent card if you don't mind killing people.
Anyone who touches the character must succeed at a fortitude save or be poisoned by the green blood oil. The save DC is equal to the... Well, there goes, any sort of romantic involvement with
You
anyone.
can just wear gloves, I guess. Or
Uh,
use, like, antidotes ahead of time, like,
maybe, yes.
Rolling for Tissac. Oh, Tissac receives the Vision. He gets 2 visions, with an odds that one is true and the other is false, but knows not which is which. I know exactly what kind of vision I'm going to give him, but since he's a GM character, it doesn't affect that much. This is a lot more beneficial if it's like a player that draws it. And what does the lady get? I hope something good. Ugh, why is it taking so long? Ooh, really? Come on. I was hoping someone would turn into like an ash pile, but there we go. Oh, great. I forgot the Cyclone. The Cyclone is great. But they draw the Locksmith. They get the power to open any door, lock, set of bindings, or other locked barrier once. This includes magical-based portal with specific requirements to activate. So they got a skeleton key that works once.
In their entire life.
Yep.
Well, let's hope they don't accidentally use it on like a lavatory door.
No, they have to specify they're using the card's ability.
I see. Well, folks,
This
don't
could have
touch
gone
me.
worse.
Yes, I am very icky now, and if you touch me, you get poisoned.
The next one I draw is the Winged Serpent, which gives you a wish. How hilarious. Man, I was hoping for one of them where like an evil spirit goes after you, and it's like, haha.
Well, I'm
But
pretty
no.
sure we already have like a bunch of evil spirits going after us.
Oh well. Oh well.
Yes. And I assume this is the kind of thing that I have to deal with from this point onward permanently, and it's not removable in any way unless it's some sort of like an epic quest.
Yep, you have to do something specific to get rid of it. Like, you need some pretty beefy magic to get rid of what this deck tosses onto you.
Yeah, green blood oil. Ugh. Touches the character, so that would be any touch attacks.
It would
But
be
it
any
wouldn't be
melee
ranged
attack.
touched. Yes, or any melee attack.
So hey, now every time you attack someone with your dragon form, you continuously poison them.
Wait a second, what?
When you're in dragon form, and you
Yes,
slash at them and slap your wings at them, every attack does the poison.
because I'm touching them.
Yes!
Damn. Should have been turning into a black dragon. That would actually be somewhat thematically appropriate for a black dragon, but I'm fine with this as well.
Let's see, what is this? It is 1 con damage for 4 rounds. So this will basically kill anything rapidly. If it's susceptible to poisons.
Yep. But they could have a feat that reduces the onset of poisons.
You could probably ask Martivir to get rid of it if you really wanted to.
Yeah, well, if it really gets in the way, or it's like, I don't know, I need to give somebody a hug or something.
As you've drawn your cards, by the way, the deck... Because the
Yep.
deck only sticks with those that draw from it.
Yep. It's like, I can say, let's go crazy, like 54 cards. Let's pull 54.
I wouldn't recommend it because one of the cards is you die, and you turn into
Yeah,
a
well,
gem.
53 then. Yep.
Those are not good odds.
Yeah,
You want to know?
and you can't get away from dying.
Let me draw another one. So, oh wow, there's the mute hack. Because you really like curses, there's one that just makes you blind, deaf, or mute.
Or at the same time.
One of them.
And you get to choose, or is it random?
I could have given you lycanthropy. That would have been great. You get to choose which one it
So,
is.
lycanthropy?
Yes, like you become a natural lycanthrope, so it cannot be cured.
Oh, oops. Well, how would that work?
The deck of many things is a fucking weird thing, man.
I know, but it's just the implication. Okay, I turn into a dragon, and then I turn into like a wolf dragon, I guess? Or is it like a dragon-sized werewolf?
Who knows? Who knows?
Ugh. It is funky, but now I am poisonous. And wait, does this technically make me unable to eat anything unless I use gloves?
You're not affected by your own poison, I assume.
Okay. Well, in the ancient domain of mystery, there is actually a corruption effect that makes your hands seep poison. But you're not immune to your stuff, so if you're not using thick gloves or something similar, then everything you eat, it poisons you. On the bright side, if you
Gross.
take the gloves off, then you can punch people, and then that will poison them.
Hehe.
Okay,
Your
well,
scales, by the way, now have a green sheen to them. As if
so it's black, yellow, and
hmm
oof,
It's more like a sheen, like iridescent shells, that kind of stuff.
iridescent. Iridescent sounds awesome because tangoos do that too, especially the black tangoos. Remember that one?
No.
Uh, Let me find it real quick. There's a relevant video for that. If YouTube decides to cooperate any moment now. Mm. Well, no results found. What? Wait, give me a couple of minutes here. If you need to take a break or something,
I
take
think we can cut
or
it here for today, because we've been at
or
this for
that.
3 hours.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, boy.
I'm happy to keep going if you want, but yeah, it's been a while.
We can keep going tomorrow. I need to prepare some stuff and all.
Or in a couple of days, it's like doing it every other day is
It's
a reasonable
exhausting. Yeah,
basis.
sure.
Well, it's not in a sense that it's exhausting. It's just that I don't want to take up all your time.
Hey, I got time, so let's take it up.
Well, technically, I have the time too between searching for work and whatever.
Okay. We can play when you want to play. I always
Yeah,
have time for it. But with that,
thank you.
goodbye, everyone. We're going to close the stream now. Say goodbye, Komo.
Thanks for
Watch.
listening in
Yeah.
on the game. Hope you had fun, folks.
Yeah, boy.